like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome to Whatever Waits Live, WorldSports.com. I'm boy Eazy, join my guy Spin More Rats.
What up, though?
Young Chris, KG, smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We got a big one for you guys. Dose Dion will be joining the show.
Go.
Hey. He's dropped his top 5 position needs for the Detroit Lions. We'll be going over that one. We're doing our top 5 defensive tackles in the open market, though. So guys that you have to be early in the draft to grab or trade up to grab. Guys, you should grab off the open market. Also, I'll save it. Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurine, a little back and forth.
Smiling.
Hey, the Pistons versus Pacers. Let it live forever. We tried making that thing with the Rockets. It's a Western Conference team. It's not really like a real rivalry that like we've been able to drum up. However, Pistons Pacers, that one might just live forever, and I'm here for it.
I'm going to be very distracted today for the first couple segments. I'm going to let you guys know right now. Red Wings are in a battle with the Seattle Kraken.
So I was going to tell them the game was on because now they might tune us off and turn that on.
I mean, they knew it was on.
I would just blame he's just like special. That's what's going on over there. Nothing else.
Raymond just put one in the back of the net to give the Red Wings 2-1 lead. There's about 10 minutes left in the second, so see if they can hold on to it. Seattle's putting some pressure on right now.
UFC 298.
Crazy.
It took place. Spinny, you weren't a believer.
I was not. I was 2-2 with my predictions. I think
UFC's hard to call.
It is.
It is super hard to call. My one lock I gave Lemos, I don't think I gave it on the show. I think it was like in our group chat. That hit.
Yeah.
Thick Kinsey Durham.
Yeah.
The new nickname she got.
She's thick for sure.
Hey, she
thick
got
booty
it.
and a thick back, dude. You see her lats? She's
fucking jacked.
Cack Diesel. Cack Diesel.
That's like post baby body.
Yeah.
That's like revenge body. No, she's a beast. But who is a beast is Ilia Topuria. Took out the GOAT, Alexander Volkanovski. Was it officially a KO or TKO?
That was a KO, dude. He knocked him out cold.
It should have been a KO, but I think they labeled it TKO because the ref had to stop it.
I don't care what they say. That was not. He folded the shit out of him.
Volkanovski got folded.
Yes.
And, all right, let me ask you this. You think it's because of, like, there's only 4 months since he fought Islam. Do you think there's enough time for him to come back and have that fight? Is that part of it? Or?
That's part of it for sure, but he got, man.
Yeah.
He got. And that's what's going to happen when you go up against a guy like that who has that knockout power. He's got stone hands on top of you, like you said, you only got 4 months. It's not the best to recover from getting kicked in the face and knocked out again.
Bro,
so
yeah, that knockout was brutal, too.
It's tough to watch. But Volk, he gave up the belt, man. He put it on the line and he gave it up. So we'll see what happens next. We'll see who he's got as his first defense. But 299, damn it. 299 is going to be the
lock in.
299 is going to be the fight to watch. That card is going to be electric.
I like this card more than 99 and 300, if I'm being honest with you.
No way, dude.
Oh, yeah, this one was fucking disgusting. The fights on this card were so hard to pick outside of, like, maybe Whitaker, but there's still, like, the outside chance that he got KO'd. I know that you were kind of banking on that one. He almost did, actually, in the first round.
First round. If there was 10 seconds left in the first round, he would have been knocked out.
KG, do you watch UFC?
Casually.
Casually?
It depends on who coming out.
We'll have to grab you for the next one.
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
We'll all go out and do something, because, like, it's... I know Chris was kind of like that too, and then like we went out. It was, bro, it's fucking great.
Oh yeah, no, it's electric. I'm down.
It's fucking amazing, bro. Anything can happen. I mean, the Whitaker fight, almost example of that when like he's winning that fight decisively, like on like by the numbers and by the judges and stuff like that. And in the final seconds of the first round, my man Paulo Costa throws like a spinning heel kick, which is like something to witness in itself. Fucking almost went out. If that round didn't end, he definitely would have like got. It would have been over at that point. But shout out to Bobby Knuckles for surviving that. My guy, not even my guy. He clipped him in the first round too. Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo versus Merab.
Fuck Henry Cejudo.
Bro, he got ragged out in the second round on.
Knew it was gonna happen.
That was insane. I did not know that was gonna happen.
Henry Cejudo's a bitch.
Why is he a bitch? I think that's.
He's annoying. He's cringy. It's.
I mean, I think it's just wild to call MMA fighters bitches. That's just like insane to me.
Well, he's obviously.
I
got
to refrain from doing that at all times. It's like, yeah,
he's obviously not a bitch, but he's a bitch. It's like him and Uriah Faber, man. They're just cringe.
You don't like Uriah Faber?
No, I hate Uriah Faber, man. He's so annoying.
Henry's so much more cringy than Uriah.
He's a lot more cringy than Uriah Faber.
Just himself. He's just chill.
He's just a little douchebag.
What do you mean? He's like the nicest guy ever.
No way.
Where is this coming from?
No, Uriah Faber. He's just the braids, the little smug
He's got long hair.
cheese dick face. He's,
O'Malley wears braids. You love O'Malley.
yeah. Well, he's kind of a douche too.
He is a douche.
Yeah.
He is as much. Shout out to Ian Gary. As much as he's a cuck, how does O'Malley dodge the cuck accusations? He literally like lets his wife.
Yeah.
Like Ian, it's like we were teasing him about.
The Ian Gary shit's wild though.
O'Malley's active in the community. Like you can get something.
Really?
Yeah. They're swingers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey. The Ian Gary shit's wild, bro. Ian Machado Gary. When I saw Machado Gary on his shorts, I was like, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he does it. I don't. Did I say this Friday or not? The reasoning behind it that I come to learn is because, like, obviously his wife being 40-something years old, he's only 26, but they have a kid together, the wife and the other guy.
Yeah.
And so he wants it to be like a family unit. So their kids have different names. He took on the ex-husband's last name.
Oh, man.
It is some wild shit.
nasty work.
It is some wild shit. He's a badass, though.
Yeah.
He handled biz. I didn't like that he was running away, but I was listening to his post-fight conference, and he's like, dude, that's my job, not to get hit.
Yeah, he had to fight one.
Yeah, that guy fucking has one-punch KO power. You'd be running too. That'd be your strategy too. Don't get punched by that guy. He could knock you out with one fucking punch. It's like a good game plan, right? It's like, yeah, I guess he's kind of right. And like, I don't know, just hats off to him for getting the W. And I think one thing with him is like winning with Kiro. I remember once upon a time nobody liked Volkanovski because of Max Holloway stuff. And now, like, he had, like, the biggest applause, I feel like, coming out there in California.
Oh, for sure.
Like
There's a bunch of Aussies there.
Oh, yeah. Merab, I think he's the next bantamweight champion. That guy's a fucking beast. Like I said, he knocked him in the first round, or at least rocked him, but from then on, he got fucking ragdolled. You reading comments?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Let
me get in the chat.
Nobody really cares about UFC, but Supremacy said, can you guys react to Flight React's top 100 NBA players ever list? It's a banger and 100% correct.
Send DM it.
Flight's funny, man. Flight's a good watch.
Is that the guy with the tattoos?
Yeah. Skinny.
Yeah. I only watch streamers.
He's a good watch. But speaking of basketball, Michigan State handled business this weekend. I know it's not much to brag about because Michigan is a terrible team.
Turd.
But it was awesome to see Spartan fans go in there and take over Chrysler. It was amazing. It was amazing to see. They had Doug McDaniel, who can only play home games because he's stupid, was shooting free throws. And Michigan State fans were chanting, do your homework.
To who?
Doug McDaniel, the point guard for Michigan, because he can only play home games because he had like a .3 GPA. And so they were chanting, do your homework, and he missed a free throw in his home arena, the only place he could play. It was just amazing. Cohen Carr had a fast break dunk, and the crowd erupted. It was great. It was great. Obviously, it doesn't mean much for the grand scheme of things because that's like a quad 4 win, but it always feels good to beat your rivals.
I'm trying to find the NCAA commercial, too, because that's officially coming out. I caught some backlash on that one on Twitter because I was like, all this for to be mad with college logos. People are pissed off about it. But it's an EA, bro.
It's probably what it's going to be.
Like, that's what it's going to be.
They got to do it different. They know better. They know not to do that to NCAA.
I just think
No,
that's
they
what's gonna
don't.
happen.
They make so much money off of Madden. They don't know shit.
I understand, but the older NCAAs used to be different
They were
from Madden.
so good.
So
Yeah,
I
but-
feel like they know that, and they have to adjust accordingly.
I just feel like they're going to do it. I agree with Eazy. I think they're just going to reskin it.
Yeah.
Like, it'll probably
It's
be
a
a little
bag.
bit different. What was different about it the first time around? I mean, outside of obviously like the franchise, and I know that, but I'm talking about
The
like,
mechanics
gameplay.
just felt different.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
hard
hard
to
to
feel.
explain.
Yeah.
The game just felt.
It felt different.
Yeah,
maybe
Nah.
the players are just worse because like at the college versus pro. I mean, I don't fucking.
They're just gonna copy and paste, bro. It's money. It's just like 2K every year. They barely change the gameplay every year because all they have to do is copy and paste, and they're still gonna make hundreds of millions.
I
every
just feel
single
like
year.
if they were going to do that, they could have came out with this game a while ago.
Yeah.
Because they have all the assets there. It's not like they haven't had college in Madden, like some of the story modes and stuff like that. So
would you say back then it was better like, gameplay wise?
oh
than
yeah,
Oh, for
versus
sure.
Madden?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe it'll be.
And it was just the franchise mode was way more fun. Like the dynasty mode where you
Yeah.
could, like I said, I would always do Kent State
Yeah, I know.
and just build a fucking dynasty.
they had all the traditions in there,
Yeah.
all the pregame stuff. I don't know, man. We'll see, but I'll be disappointed if it's a Madden.
They're gonna have to put a lot of money into it to actually make it
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, for me,
And I don't know if EA is willing to do that
That's
because they're
right.
cheap cocksuckers, dude.
bro, it's insane.
And then
Like,
is it going to be a yearly release? Because
No.
that plays into the quality of the game too.
Yeah.
If it's a yearly release, so
well, it's like, bro, Madden's been the same for like the past.
yeah,
To be fair, I didn't play the last years.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
it's been the fucking same.
They make adjustments here and there, but they don't fix the shit that players want fixed. That's been a problem for like years. That's the problem with Madden.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of the Madden games are the same. I'm not mad at anybody that says that.
That's why I'm nervous about the NCAA. But I'll get it, just like you guys probably get it. We'll spend the money. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in EA.
I
And
feel
you know
you.
what? To be honest with you, like I'm gonna stay vocal about this to keep them on their ass because like they should be fucking called out for like being trash the last couple of years.
When there's no
Last
competition in the
decade,
market,
honestly.
man.
What'd you say?
I said when there's no competition in the market, what can you do?
Exactly. That's why I always prayed for NBA Live to make a comeback, just so it can get 2K right. Like, if both of those are existing and they're both very good, it's going to only elevate the competition. So
The
that-
problem was
that's what
live
you
wasn't good.
Yeah.
The
Well,
later
yeah.
ones weren't good.
They
like
were
that.
trash.
So
If anything comes back, it should be NFL Street. NFL Street.
Absolutely.
That was my
NFL Street,
shit.
NBA Street.
NBA
Street
Street
was
was
good.
fire.
I like the NBA Street better.
NBA Jams
Yeah.
is better than NBA Live.
yeah.
Like we got the game breaker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you catch on fire.
it's going fucking stupid.
Yeah.
2K might do an NFL street type game because they got the NFL license. They just can't make simulation.
Yeah.
So it has to be like something.
Oh, dude,
close
that's
to
so-
They can't do what with it?
simulation. So Madden is like simulation football, like real life football.
Yeah.
They can do an NFL licensed game. They just can't do simulation. So
That's
it has
weird.
to be something arcadey or something close to simulation. But
If they made
not over
Street,
the
that
line.
would that would do numbers. So many people buy that.
And
By
the
sim-
backyard sports, if they bring them back,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
let me use Free
Backyard
Fire.
baseball is my shit.
oh yeah.
By simulation,
Pablo
what,
was a
what,
goat.
like the AI dudes? I mean, what was they?
No, so simulation is just like actual real life football,
Yeah.
copy
Yeah.
and paste it to a video game.
Yeah.
So non-simulation would be like an NFL street.
Like the 3-on-3, 4-on-4.
Right.
Okay.
NFL
so they have the
blitz, things of that
licenses
nature.
to do that then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can still use real players, but it can't be like a real life football game. It's got to
Okay.
be something close to it or
Yeah, they should
different.
definitely do that. It's untapped right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many people buy NFL Street.
Yeah.
I know I would. I would buy NFL Street before I bought the NCAA game for
Well,
sure.
the cool part about it too is like you could like they would have like players throughout forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you go back in history and like like you may have known like Emmett was on like the the '90s Cowboys, but we may have wanted to have Troy as your quarterback or whatever. Like NFL
Yeah.
Street, you just mix it all up. Get
yeah.
Barry playing with Calvin.
Sean
like,
Alexander
yeah.
was a dog in NFL Street.
bro, actually, was NFL Street was before Calvin. Like imagine like having Calvin in
Yeah.
NFL
Yeah.
Street now, bro. Like
Man.
the fucking like
Antonio
Super Bowls to give
Brown.
him.
Antonio Brown would be so crazy. You know?
They will not put him in the damn game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
was
better.
just thinking about that. I don't
What?
think
No,
they
they're
would, man.
fucking better. He would be so cold, dude. Are you kidding me? Todd
know.
Gurley would be a dog. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, because does EA do the wrestling games? Or
Adrian
2K does the
Peterson?
wrestling games,
Yeah,
right?
2K
Yeah.
does wrestling.
And they took out. Well, that's a way worse.
That is
offense.
not even comparable.
Yeah.
Is Eddie in those?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Chris is not.
No, yeah.
And that is not comparable to
Right.
what Antonio Brown is.
That's fair. That's fair. How about you tell us about Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work out on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes and a 30-minute circuit. And all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout Detroit or throughout the
Get
world.
one of those.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new design, amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com by clicking the shop tab. They got hoodies, hats, tees, all guaranteed to turn heads. So go to woodwardsports.com, click the shop tab today, and get yourself some new merch.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, woodwardsports.com. I'm Eazy, Spinmo Rax, Young Chris. We got KG. NBA All-Star Weekend. Boom. But they need to move the Rising Stars Challenge to Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I'm so pissed I missed that. I 100% would have watched that. But I was like, I was making my drive back from work.
It's one of the best moments of the weekend now.
Yeah. Like, put it on a primetime slot. Give us that on Saturday. Like, no, to be honest, like, no one gives a fuck about the dunk contest.
No.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about the skills challenge.
Nope.
I
like that more
Dude,
than
Anthony Edwards was shooting with his left hand in the
contest.
skills challenge,
Yeah.
bro. Imagine you put money on team #1 pick and you see Anthony Edwards out there shooting with his left hand, bro.
Yeah.
I'll break my TV.
But if you're gambling an All-Star,
You're booner.
yeah, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just...
I did it this year, but I'm gonna do
You
it
literally
next
know
year,
they're
just
not
for fun.
trying. So to
Yeah.
gamble on the All-Star Weekend is like, why?
I remember one year, me and my boys did it where we picked a different guy for each event. And I won because I picked Kristaps to win the skills challenge. And I think it was Glenn Robinson
The
to win the
Latvian
dunk
laser.
contest. And somebody else to win the three-point contest. I forget who it was. But I picked all three of them. So I won a case of beer.
Nice.
You know, the best part of the All-Star Weekend is the skills, or I'm sorry, the Rising Stars Challenge.
and 3-point.
It's always the most competitive, even going back to when Brandon Knight, all right,
God rest his soul.
he's still living, but
He was getting
got
absolutely cooked by
dude, he got
Kyrie.
destroyed that one. And he had I think 2 in the response.
Yeah.
After that, Kyrie it was a wrap.
I think my favorite Rising Stars was when Deion Waiters and Tim Hardaway Jr. were going back and
That
forth.
was dog.
That shit was awesome.
That one slept on, I think, because they didn't end up becoming like stars.
Yeah.
But like, that was better, honestly, than
Oh,
Kyrie.
yeah.
Because Brandon Knight didn't respond to like the second bucket.
They were going back and forth.
Yes.
That was a dope.
And Deion Waiters wetting that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's
What
actually not
happened to
still around.
Deion
Yeah,
Waiters?
he was
Yeah,
actually.
man.
good,
I feel like
peaks
it was
ahead.
maybe shit because I remember he was on. I think he was on those late Cavs teams.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
And
LeBron.
Miami.
Yeah, and Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, but I think he's just. I don't
It's
know.
still playing his role too. Like,
His
it's not
head's
like he
not
fell
right.
off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was that guy, like, you know how Miami it's just a clause in their team that every year they have a point where 7 players are out and they're playing, like, people you don't even know. And then Deion Waiters just balls out. Remember, that was the season they went 11-30 in the first 41 and then 30-11 in the second and made the playoffs. It was a crazy run.
Is that when
But that was because of
Oladipo-
Deion.
Was it Oladipo there too at the time?
No, that
I
was
was thinking
before.
Indiana.
That was before. This was like when Deion was literally running the show.
Yeah.
It was like Deion and Whiteside. It was that Miami Heat era.
Hassan Whiteside. Ugh.
Man,
Talk about a one-hit wonder.
Hey, bro, that was a
Facts.
fantasy goat for me though. He had that one year where he was getting like 8-9 blocks a game. Like it was insane. He was getting triple doubles with blocks, like on some Wemby shit.
Yeah,
he got one of the stupidest contracts.
but yeah, NBA All-Star break sucks.
No, it absolutely sucks. But the Rising Star Challenge is the most exciting part of it, and we're giving that again this year. I got a little PTSD from it. Do you have it on 3Cam or?
I'm putting it on 3Cam right now.
All right. So obviously, it was kind of it's a debate here on this show specifically, and then I'm talking about back before, like we were in the show on here, like back when we were in Studio B.
Yep.
We had Jeff on had the debate. We've had freaking Bryce Simmons on that debate. Like everyone. Sean.
Yeah.
Everybody in the Pistons community. I think everyone outside of maybe like James Edwards. It was highly debated. As Benedict
We
Mathurine.
talked about it with Koo too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Benedict. Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah.
Benedict
So here we
Mathurine
go.
versus Jaden Ivey. And Benedict Mathurine has always felt the way. I remember back after the first game, he's like, yeah, I remember they passed me up in the draft. Well, we don't have the audio on this one, but essentially Benedict Mathurine said, even in the Rising Stars Challenge, you can't guard me.
Am I good to play the audio? I just turned it down to be safe.
No.
You
don't
play it, but
the-
we're
don't
talking
play
over
the
it, so we should be good.
I wouldn't.
Okay. That's what I
I think we're
figured.
good, honestly, because you're doing like a reaction to it. But, yeah, it's not fun without the audio. to be honest
It's
with you.
yeah. He.
Turn the audio on. We're good. As long as we're talking over and we got
The best
this
part
over.
though is he missed both free throws.
Stars, I'm telling you, it never disappoints.
And did you see Paulo Banchero's team Ivy?
He made that one.
Oh, that was blatant.
Oh, you're talking about the $25,000
Yeah, he bet somebody $25K and then he missed both free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it went away quick.
That was hilarious. He bet Ivy. That's what he bet.
Oh
He
yeah.
was talking trash
Was
with
it
Ivy.
Ivy?
I don't
I
think
think
it
it
was.
was somebody else.
Paulo Banchero's team Ivy though.
Listen to this trash.
He was
Why?
liking tweets about Ivy coming up. like on the 25K.
Booker's a fan of both as well.
Look, man,
I know you guys saw that.
I got PTSD from it. Just because the last time a Piston got an exchange in that game is Brent Knight, and the career just didn't end up. He's way better than Brent Knight.
Way different player.
Way different player.
Oh, no.
But he got absolutely punked, bro. He got absolutely punked in that. Come on.
I mean, look, it's a Rising Stars game. It was a good moment. They both are just competitive, and that's why Devin Booker's comment was, "This is why I fuck with both of them, because they both have that mentality." So I already know that Jaden Ivey's going to bring it this next game. Like, I don't have any concerns with this. If he gets the better of him in one Rising Stars game, okay, cool. I care about what happens in the regular season, what happens in the playoffs when these two teams face. Like, that's where I'm looking at. So
right,
to me, I don't care.
That's what we get this Thursday. We get Jaden Ivey. Talk about this when we come back. We don't give a fuck about that.
This is way more important than the fucking NBA
But we can talk
All-Star
about this.
game.
We got this conversation going on.
And
Let's
it's
let this
literally
one
happening.
right out. We can stretch another segment out of that one. But Benedict Mathurine versus Jaden Ivey, it's coming this Thursday. This Thursday is what you get, Chris. Exactly what you're talking about. Is in a regular season matchup, these two versus each other. And then I went and I grabbed the numbers to see like what it is. Essentially, it's virtually identical. They're both averaging 22 points against each other when they play each other. Obviously, Indiana Pacers are getting the W's in that situation.
But they
like,
have a better team. We know that.
Exactly. So I'm not really counting the W's. But this Thursday, I need to hear something back from Ivey.
So
I'm obligated to beat Team Ivey in this situation.
You need Ivey to go out there and do it. You need him to go out there and show, fuck this dude. This is why I was drafted above you.
Yeah.
And he's been playing great. He's been playing hot. This is a Slay the Dragon type moment because this is a guy who is known as a defender. This is a guy who's known as a shooter, which could be things that the Red Wings could use. And he's been playing pretty well. That the Pistons could use. Sorry, I'm watching the Red Wings. But Ivey's got to go out there and show him why he was picked above him. Ivey's got to go out there and show him why Troy Weaver and the Detroit Pistons had the confidence to take Jaden Ivey above Benedict Mathurine and give him some crazy work. I don't want to see you just have a good game. I want to see you drop 30+. I want to see you cross him at midcourt, take it down, and yam on somebody. Like, go crazy, Ivey. And his teammates should know. His coaching staff, Monty Williams, should know. You should be running sets to get Ivey switched on a Benedict Mathurine and clear out so he can go give him some work.
Exactly. If you're going to healthy scratch players against the Wizards, then you're damn sure going to cook up a whole different game plan for this Ivey versus Mathurine. Because let's be real, we know what this season is for the Pistons.
It's over. What else you doing?
It's over. So Spencer's absolutely right. You have to get Ivey involved, and this could be a good moment, especially for Monty and Ivey, right? Like, they've gotten off to the rocky start. We know this, but we also know that Monty is here long term. So it's something that either Ivey and Monty have to work out, or Ivey eventually moves on, because it seems like Monty is definitely here to stay. But this can be a moment where Monty can be like, I understand how important this is to you, Ivey. I want to put you in position to succeed. And that's what this game should be about. More so than even the wins and the losses.
Shit, Monty's damn near a player hitter too. So, I hope he allows Ivey to get his lick back. But KG, did you see it?
Yeah, nah. So like, if Ivey goes out there and puts up 30 and we lose, who gets the bragging rights?
Ivey.
Even if they win,
they're supposed to win. They're a better team.
The win loss, like, that's like a team accolade. That's what I'm talking about when we had the whole heated debate with the Trevor Lawrence, whatever. I'm like, okay, you're bringing up team accolades to like on a player versus player situation. Like, and this is a situation where they might end up guarding each other too. Like, they did the Rising Stars challenge too.
Position essentially. So yeah.
So I mean, that's where where you at with it?
Oh, I bring the smoke, man. Jaden Ivey, we want all the smoke, man. And I like Ben Mathurine's game a lot.
Yeah.
I was definitely interested in him as a Piston, but we had to take Ivey at that spot. Picking Mathurine there would have kind of been a reach, for that spot in the draft. So, but yeah, I like to see it, man. Just have some kind of fire and do anything with this season. I know we're not doing anything in the win column, but give some kind of hope to the fans for this season. Something. Give us something.
And this is important too for the Pistons or Pistons fans, I should say, because when you look at this season and you look at the conversations this weekend, it was Halliburton making All-NBA, All-Star weekend, the star of the show, Killian Hayes, cut. And Killian Hayes was drafted before him.
Yeah.
So Pistons fans, they really need to see Ivey outperform Mather in this game. Like, they really need it for their sanity. Because at this point, if if you got 2 dubs over the Pistons in the last 3 drafts, that's gonna sting a little bit.
Yeah, that shit is what pissed me off the most. Is that I saw Tyrese Halliburton get double teamed in the All-Star game as a starter, and Killian Hayes is sitting on his couch waiting for the Chinese Open invites.
Crazy.
He got double teamed in the All-Star game. That doesn't happen. He hit like 5 threes in a row to start the game off for the East. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And Tony Brothers clowned him. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Tony Brothers clowned him. He was like, he was talking to the ref, Tony Brothers. He was like, give me the calls and stuff. I'm at home. And Tony Brothers was like, just go out there and do your thing. He's like, what's my thing? He's like, let me show you. He took the ball. He's like, making fun of his jumper. That shit was pretty funny.
No, the other funny thing too was when he tried to do the elbow pass. My boy Simba,
The white chocolate?
Yeah. What my boy Simba tweeted, because he's a big Pacers fan, he tweeted, Damian Lillard missing that 3 should make him terrorist number 1.
Damn.
Because he was so hurt about that.
Yeah.
But that pass wasn't that good.
Did y'all see the Halliburton post-game comments when they kind of laughed up about the Pistons and all that?
Passing up on him?
Yeah, pretty much. He said it was extra juice whenever he plays the Pistons.
Yeah,
and
man.
then he was like, they got Cade, and, it's working out for him. And then the media room just laughed. Like, yeah, it's bad. We're laughing stock.
He had that one-on-one with Taylor Rooks too, and he has mentioned that too. They asked him like what motivates him, or like a moment that motivated him, and that was it. The Pistons passing on him to take Killian Hayes, because he felt that he was the best point guard in the draft, but he knew like the hype was around like Melo.
Yeah.
So when the Pistons came, he's like, well, they don't have a point guard. Like, this is it. And I guess his agent kept giving like this sign, like he wasn't getting drafted, and he was like offended by it. He's like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, they don't have a point guard. Like, what do you mean they're not taking me? And we are taking Killian Hayes, and the rest is history. I think if anything, between like the Taylor Rooks interview, the post game comments, and then obviously Benedict Mathurine versus Jaden Ivey, Pistons versus Pacers, this is gonna live forever.
Yeah, this has to be something.
It's gonna live forever.
This has to be. This is one of the last games of the year that the Pistons have to get up for.
Yeah,
it's not a rivalry if the other team sucks.
It sucks. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
True.
Like the Michigan versus Michigan State in football. Michigan State sucked this year. Rivalry didn't feel the same. Michigan sucks in basketball this year. Rivalry doesn't feel the same. If you want the Pistons rivalry, the Pistons can't be dog water, or it doesn't feel the same. It's just beating up on the cousin in the corner. Like, it's literally all it is.
Right.
Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an
Smooth
award-winning
transition.
haircut experience and automatically register to win a trip to your dreams and all expenses paid. Sweet
Dose of Dion
for
coming
the
up next.
2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with over 18 locations and one right in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the one nearest you, and check out Feldman Chevrolet in Novi for Wake Up Woodward and BDE live every other Monday. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by guy Spinmo Rax, Young Chris,
What up,
KG. Do we have our guy Dose of Dion?
Let me see. Yes, we do. Give me a second to put him on the 3 cam.
Legend.
The legend.
Yes, sir.
Dose of Dion. I want to get Dion on because he dropped a great video yesterday. I've been moving all week, and I caught a break, and I watched it, and it basically was his top 5 needs for the Detroit Lions position-wise. I'm off my game today. This game is majorly distracting me. Dion, thank you for joining the show. I wanted to ask you specifically because you said you had Sam linebacker in there, and I guess I wanted to get an explanation on that and what type of guys you're looking at.
Right. Hey, well, first off, man, I'm a little thrown off too. I don't know if that was an analogy that Spenmo Rax used. I've never heard that before, so I was gonna let that slide. But like as soon as I joined, I was like, all right, I haven't heard that one. I might have to look that one up. Maybe that's not something to talk about on the show. I don't know. Yeah, I ain't never heard that before. So I was like, all right, I don't know where to go with that. No, man. Hey, first off, appreciate you checking out the video. I'll say this, man. That was a weird one for me. Because where I ended up putting on the list, I felt like in a way it was maybe a little bit high. Like maybe I shouldn't have put that at 3. Maybe I should have dropped that thing to 4. But and the biggest reason, honestly, for that is just because of the amount of snap usage. Like it's not one of those spots, especially in today's NFL, where that's consistently going to be on the field. Like it's easy to say, oh, an outside corner, he's going to be on the field all the time. Like there's certain positions that are always going to be out there. Saying a Sam linebacker in the top 3, that dude's not going to be out there all the time, and that's just because of personnel groupings that the offense is going to use. However, my main reasoning for putting that position was I try to explain it a little bit in the sense of I think we could have the answers here, James Houston being a major piece of that, assuming he comes back an exclusive rights free agent. Then also Derek Barnes started to kind of mix into that role a little bit. I didn't think Jack Campbell did well there at all at the beginning of the season. So we could have the answers potentially on the roster. And I think that it wouldn't shock me if the Lions looked at that and said, look, Barnes won last year, on his deal. He'll get more snaps at that spot. We'll let him try to earn that. And then James Houston, we get him back healthy. We'll let those guys kind of rotate in that role. He'll be still our kind of pass rush piece. And then we can decide if we want to bring anybody back before adding something on top of that. We know they like to build through the draft. But for me, I just looked at really from the beginning of the year when Campbell was playing it, I didn't think it was consistent. But also on top of not just pass rush, because I feel like James Houston could give me that. I know James Houston give me pass rush, even though it wasn't as good as his first year. But I look at that position and just say from run defense, pass coverage, when those guys are on the field, I think that's a position right now that just hasn't shown me enough between the players that have been out there where I think that you can really upgrade and it wouldn't maybe take a significant addition to do it. I think that's one of those spots that you're not going to see it every snap, but, you talk about 300 snaps in a season, and then if he is a big-time pass rusher on pass rush situations as well, like I just think from an FBI standpoint, we can improve there and just get more consistency, especially on early downs.
I agree. And we saw Jalen Reeves-Maybin when he stepped in the game. He looked pretty damn good playing that role. I mean, obviously he's not going to be your full-time guy. I have a feeling they're going to re-sign him, but you want to keep him for how great he is in special teams. But when you do look at this draft, how do you think it's going to break down with that first pick, Dion? Because every time I do it, I keep looking at it. I keep finding myself taking interior offensive line in that first round just because I just think that's what – I don't think they're going to re-sign Jonah. I do think they'll bring back Graham, and obviously Frank said he's staying. But I think you need to get that guy that can start day one at left guard and then possibly fill in for Frank if he decides to hang it up in the next year or so.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think, man, I'm still like so open on that spot because like one side of me is saying, okay, don't expect that guy to be a starter. Now, if you're doing it on the interior offense line, expect him to be a starter because where they're getting taken at the end of the first round, that guy should be a starter. But for a lot of other positions, it's like, okay, if I took an edge defender, will he start? Maybe not, but can he play a role there? Probably. He could be a role piece, rotated and out. Like that's kind of the range you're getting to if they don't move up and you get to number 29. So part of me is like kind of on the fence because I'm like, even if it's a cornerback, depending on what cornerback it is he like you have to play him day one, or could he maybe just not be ready yet, depending on the certain cornerback that you go get? So I'm really open between a lot of things right now. I mean, interior defensive line, I haven't been blown away with a ton of guys that really fit for me at that spot, but I actually love your interior offensive line take. If Jonah doesn't come back, I think there's a lot of dudes that, whether they play guard now, maybe they played center, even tackles that could slide inside. I think there's so many flexible players that could fall in that range in this draft. Like, I would love to add to that, and I think for us, what makes the guard position so darn valuable, and speaking of the list that Eazy brought up, I had that at 2. It makes it so valuable to me just because of the flexibility that they add to this offense. It's like you can't look at this team and say we match up well because, man, they love to run it this way. It's like, now you have to deal with everything because they'll bring everything to the table. So I love the interior offensive line talk, and I'm pretty much open to anything, honestly, at that spot. It just depends on if I'm expecting to get immediate starter or not. And for a lot of positions, I still kind of want to hit it in free agency, like for a cornerback, for example, just in case that he's not completely ready right away if I sit at 29.
Yeah, the one I heard, and I'm not talking about names specifically, but our guy Scott Bischoff talked about taking a tackle. It's actually Penei Sewell's cousin, an example that he used. I watched the tape, and I was not a fan of it, though, but the guy over in BYU. But he's talking about grab a tackle, they can play guard for you, and then also be a possible solution for Taylor Decker down the road if he decides to move on, with his career, because we know Taylor's getting up there and hopefully gets a Super Bowl ring and maybe comfortable enough to walk away. Another question I wanted to ask: have you been able to look at any of the free agents, or you've been so busy trying to catch up on the draft? Because I noticed Lions content creators we're so much further with the draft than we are used to being. Because we used to like scouting that stuff like almost like mid-season. Like, this time we didn't get to jump on it until like the beginning of mid-January. But have you been able to take a look at any free agents? Anybody that piques your eye?
Yeah, I mean, do you mean at a specific position, or are you just saying in general?
I mean, all the above, really. Yeah, any names or positions.
Yeah, for me, like, I think one of the spots that we could really hit, and originally coming in, I was like, yo, this would be like the great opportunity to go get that veteran edge rusher. Like, if you're going to go get that piece where it's like, we're just speaking about a Sam Backer, if you're going to go get a piece that he's an elite premier pass rusher, not going to play all the snaps, but this would be a perfect time to do it. So first name, I was like, oh, Jadeveon Clowney. That makes perfect sense. Then I watched him. I was like, okay, I like it. I don't love it, though. So I think something like that on paper could work as long as it's the right piece. But I'll be honest with you, man, two things that I think work perfectly. Number one, interior defensive lineman, I think, would be an awesome position to hit in free agency. And I have a couple of names for that. I think there's a wide radius you can hit. I mean, you got the expensive guys at the top. You have potentially, Reader hitting free agency. You have the Chris Jones. You have Justin Madubuike. But then you could also go down. You're like, I got the veterans too, the Shelby Harris. Then you got kind of the middle. And for me, man, I still kind of sit on the ledge of, man, Grover Stewart intrigues me so much this offseason because I just wonder with the suspension where his kind of price tag goes. And I don't want to, part of me doesn't want to go too long, be like, yo, give him like a 4-year deal because one, Brad Holmes doesn't typically do that. And then two, I'm like, well, Broderick Martin could be the answer, and they're hoping that he's the answer eventually. But if I added a kind of a veteran piece that I just knew could hold it down, he's going to be great against the run, maybe even sprinkle a little pass rush to add with Aleem, and then I still give Broderick time to kind of come along. Like, that's one of those positions where I think as good as the Lions were against the run, they really could just improve personnel-wise there, and I think free agency would be a great spot to do it because I don't want to necessarily draft someone directly on top of Broderick Martin for that exact same role. But I also think in saying that you can go a lot of different ways. Like, you could go the Fletcher Cox route in free agency. Maybe you can pry him from Philly. I've heard some quotes and I'm like, that could be interesting. You can go a lot of different ways on the interior because Aleem's going to move around based on who you put with him. So I love that position, and I'm going to stay on it, man. Andrew Van Ginkel, to me, if the Lions don't address, kind of that outside linebacker type position, kind of those tweener players. I've been going through a lot of those guys today. Andrew Van Ginkel, to me, is just such a super interesting addition because he just looks like a lion when I watch him. Like, to me, I don't know. Again, I don't know if we're going to want to put someone on top of Barnes and James Houston, but when you talk about coverage, run defense, pass rush, like, to me, he's not elite as a pass rusher, right? I think James has a higher ceiling, but he does everything else so darn well. Then he can play off ball too, so you never, like, are going to run out of flexibility. I don't think his price tag gets super high because he's not like a top tier like pass rushers that get paid $20 million a year. Yeah. Someone like that intrigues me so much because I think he fits so well.
Yeah, I think in limited time at Miami, he still had, I'm looking right now, he still had 6 sacks. I remember he didn't really get time until Jaden Phillips went down. So it's like, that's actually like really impressive. And I do think he plays a linebacker spot well. We're talking about like dropping into coverage. That'd be honestly, he is a Dan Campbell guy. He's a guy who's never had it in his entire career. He had to get it out the mud, and he proved that when he finally got PT with Miami. That would be huge. Interception, 4 touchdown thing, on Hard Knocks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Picked off a screen. Yeah. Dude picked off the screen, man. It was nasty.
Every time I look at these interior defensive and free agents, DJ Reader is the one that just stands out to me because I feel like he fits so well. You could put him in between Aleem and Hutch, commands a double team. I think his market's going to be down a little bit because of the injury that he went through. And I don't know. I feel like that would be a perfect fit if he could stay healthy and you could put him there in between those guys. Just that mammoth dude in the middle.
If you had to pick one or the other, who are you taking?
Between DJ Reader and Grover Stewart?
Or,
is that what you're asking me? Or?
And Van Ginkel, too.
Oh,
crazy name to say out
dang.
loud.
I'd go with DJ.
I feel like I'm not.
Sounds like a slur.
Yeah.
You just think what Andrew Van is going with the first name.
That motherfucking Van Ginkel over there.
Goddamn Van Ginkel.
That's why it's great, though. Like, we have to have dudes that are like names that are like, oh, okay, I don't know about that one. We always have weird names. We're running out of them. We got to start to get those back to the mix.
It's a great point.
Look,
that's a good point.
If the price tag was the same, I would say absolutely DJ Reader because I think what Spenmo Rax is saying, he's speaking facts here to me, is that when you also look at where DJ Reader is coming from schematically, like just looking at when he was at Cincinnati, it was like, oh, this is like so similar to what we're trying to do here. And he's been so darn good, so consistent. And it's like, yeah, if I put that in there with Aleem, like in a way it may kind of overlap Broderick. But man, I mean, let's let him rotate. Like if Broderick picks it up, let him rotate. But that would be just it'd just be a seamless fit to me to just plug that guy in. But I think based on the price tag, I think Van Ginkel will come at a really nice bargain. So I would actually lean Van Ginkel just based on the price tag. But if you're telling me that it's like somewhat similar, oh, definitely DJ Reader. Absolutely.
I think he made a great point too in the video yesterday. Again, make sure you guys check that out if you haven't already. But it's Dose Dion's top 5 like positions of need for the Detroit Lions. But when you brought up how great the Detroit Lions run defense has been like the past like year and a half, it's very, very true. But when you get to the red zone, what would you say it was ranked like 30th or 31st? Yeah, 30th. And I think it's because we don't have those big body guys when it comes down to like stopping the run like on the first line. It is more scheme. It is more that 4-2. Everyone's just kind of like sliding down and attacking. I think that's huge, man.
Yeah, I mean, and this is I didn't even bring it up, but I thought about this after I was making it. Is I can remember the talk of how much we discussed like defensive backs play a role in the run defense too. Like when it was not doing well early, I think a year ago, like the discussion was like, all right, the defensive backs got to be part of it too. I mean, I remember Aaron Glenn bringing that up, and I think for us, what's made us so good is that every level's really good against the run. Like defensive backs gets involved, obviously schematically blitzing, the slants, all those things. But yeah, it's exactly to that point. Like if they know you're going to run the ball when you get to the 3-yard line, but you just can't stop it. Like at one point there, it's like, all right, do we just have the dudes in the interior? And we saw it. It's almost kind of like the reason I brought up the sandbag position in an interesting way, because Houston was more of an injury, so we kind of just rotated through dudes that could try to help us in different ways. But the interior defensive line, in a way, we kind of rotated through guys that weren't a Lee McNeil. Once Lee McNeil got injured, it was just like, all right, who the heck can play? Because Levi, he looks better, but it's like he's not playing nearly enough. Let's bring in Aluwalu, right? We're just bringing in dudes left. Benito Jones didn't have a great season after last year, so that's just like one of those positions to me where we also don't really have a stable piece that we know of outside of a Lee McNeil. But yeah, I think it definitely shows up in those spots.
Yeah.
DM, would you mind? Do you want to do another one real quick? Talk a little draft, or you gotta get going?
No, I'm good. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Let me tell you guys about Fairway Pack Company real quick. When we get back, we'll be talking to Dose Dion, a little bit of NFL draft for the Detroit Lions. But before then, Fairway Pack Company. We provide Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with dry-aged beef, prime beef, and Wagyu beef. Get delivered to your door with fairwaypacking.com or visit them in store in Grosse Pointe. That's fairwaypacking.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. I'm Eazy at Spinmo Rax. We're joined by the one and only Dose Dion.
Legend.
Man, I know you've been grinding that tape for the draft, man. I know you've been grinding it, and I know you got the positions that need down. Where do you see the talent in this draft pool coming from? Like, I guess, like, what position group do you think we should attack first to grab like the best of the best?
Yeah, no, it's a tough one for me because like to me, like I said, I'm pretty open, but I do think that offensive line could hit really well at that spot. Now, it may not even be a need. I mean, we bring back both our guys. It's not even that kind of a need. But I think it's going to be really open at that spot. It's going to be a lot of names. Like Spemmo Rax brought this up first, but there's just like so many dudes that I feel like can move around, play different spots on the offensive line, and I love adding to that. I think cornerback also is going to have some really interesting – I think cornerback's kind of deep this year. I mean, I don't know what the thought is like around the world, but just from what I've seen, I really like a lot of cornerbacks into what seems like people are thinking mid-late rounds. I like a lot of dudes there. So that's one of those spots where I'm like, part of me is like, I wouldn't be mad if we hit free agency, did another 1 year type of deal with a guy, and we're like, hey, if he's healthy, he can start. And then on the flip side, it's like, let's actually draft someone. Let's get someone in the building because we haven't really done that at corner, even if it's not the top pick in the draft. And then again, I think, dude, there's some pass rushers, man. I think there's like really nice pass rushers. They all feel like they have different skill sets for that number 29 pick. It's just kind of like, what am I looking for? Do I want like the inside outside flexibility like a Robinson, right? Do I want more of kind of like, man, that Ben's insane with a Chop Robinson? Like, I think there's so many different types of fits when you look at that spot where the Lions could kind of hit whatever style that they're looking for at that spot. They want to go that direction. To me right now, it feels it feels between offensive line and edge is where I feel like it's kind of like leaning heavy for me right now, just based on also where we're at. But I think cornerback's going to be really nice going into day 2.
That's perfect because we actually got KG in the sound booth today, and he wanted to ask you about the cornerback position.
Hey, what up, Dion? Fan of the content, bro. But if you're Brad Holmes, how would you attack the corner position? Because we know we need a 1, but I don't necessarily think you need a star or a shutdown in that spot. I think you can go with maybe like a Stephon Gilmore and then draft a guy and develop from there. But if you're Brad Holmes, how are you attacking this cornerback position this year?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that because to me, like, that's the number 1 need. And I love how you brought that up because when I say that, it's like, people may think that has to be the first-round pick or that has to be the biggest free agent signing, but I think to what you just said is perfect. And maybe that it could be the Stephon Gilmore because he feels like he'd be a 1-year deal, and I'm a huge fan of Gilmore. I don't think he looked great this last year, but I'm a big fan of the guy. But I like that approach. Like, I think that's a strong approach to take again. Heck, even if it was an Emmanuel Mosley, just based on what I've seen in the past from Mosley, I know he was hurt. They may just be like, yo, let's just stay away from that, go a different direction. I'm okay with that. But I liked what he did before he got here. So something like that to me would make sense. And then, like I said, because I feel like cornerback has some really intriguing pieces in the middle rounds, it could work out really well. The flip side of that, however, is even if I signed a cornerback, because I think in a way you kind of have to, because I think the cornerback's position is one of those spots where if you told me in a world where Lions brought every single cornerback that played for them this past year, you would still say this needs a massive improvement. The answers just don't seem to be here right now. You can't really bank on that. There's no one that's really developing to that kind of role. So even if you were to add someone in free agency and say it wasn't like a big-time deal, because I struggle to think the Lions will give out a big-time deal to a cornerback after paying Cam Sutton on a 3-year deal unless they were to move off of Sutton. But there would also be that side of me where it's like, hey, if you're sitting there at 29 and one of those cornerbacks that you really like does end up getting there, you just say, I'm still taking him at 29. Like, that's how I look. I thought we'd go cornerback last year. I'd still be open to taking it at 29 as long as it's the right fit. I don't know where people are kind of feeling like these guys are going to fall, and I've tried to stay away from mock drafts the best that I can until I do one. But, like, guys like Cooper DeJean, for example, where I was like, I struggle with his anticipation. Bro, that guy's got, like, all the traits he could be. If someone was like that was just sitting at 29, dude, absolutely. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just do it. I don't care who I sign. I'm just going to draft him anyway. So I guess that keeps, like, the best available option. But, yeah, I love that strategy. I would follow a similar strategy probably this offseason.
And speaking of strategy, we've seen Brad Holmes do anything and everything in this short time in the first round. Trade it up, trade it down, take people who are high value, high draft value, take people who don't have the highest value when you look at a running back or a linebacker in the first round, normally frowned upon by GMs, but damn, it worked out. What do you see him more likely doing, not staying put, either trading up or trading down, if you were to do one in this year's first round?
Boy, that's a good question. Man, so I'm just trying to, because we don't have a fourth, we have 2/3. Like, I would say that I would say more likely to trade down. I would say more likely to trade down because of where I think our roster's at. Like, if I feel like we needed more immediate starters, I would say probably more likely to trade up, because I think if you wanted to make sure that you have a guy that can start your 1, you would have to push it a little bit potentially, or maybe it hits, but there's a good chance you'd probably say, let's like move up a little bit. But I don't think there's a ton of glaring positions like that. Again, the guard position is a great example, just depending on how that falls for us specifically. But because I don't think there's a ton of positions that it's like you can argue the Lions don't have an answer on the roster, that I think it would be more likely that they'd move back, acquire more picks. And I would also, like, even to the last point about the cornerbacks, I'm not, like, closed-minded to the idea if Brad Holmes went out of nowhere, surprised us, and just went out and traded a pick for a current corner in the league. Like, something like that would not surprise me from Brad because of the same reasoning of, like, hey, we're sitting at 29, right? If we don't hit this in free agency or we don't really like someone there, it wouldn't be the worst move to try to go trade for someone that's like, hey, they're not going to pay him anyway. Let's just go get him. Because then it's still kind of the 1-year deal. But now you're probably looking at a better talented player. Maybe he's had to deal with stuff in the past. So I would keep that on the table, too, is just trading for a player outright. Probably not with a first-round pick, though.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, too. Because, like, when I look at the crop of free agents, there's no one where I can, like, feel comfortable moving them into our like DB1 or CB1. Like, L'Jarius Sneed and Jalen Johnson are probably the only guys, right? But, like, I really don't know how I feel about those guys long term. I mean, what do you make of this crop of this crap? I guess Jalen Johnson does play for the Bears. What do you make of this crop of free agent cornerbacks?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm kind of with you there. Like I said, I struggle with seeing that the Lions are going to pay a ton of money to a cornerback in free agency. I mean, I guess they could. I don't think Jalen Johnson's getting out of Chicago. I think that would be crazy. L'Jarius Sneed, like, it would work. I mean, it would work. He's still a young player. I just don't see it happening. I think they fall more into that mid. I can't think of dudes. Adoree Jackson. He's a guy that I'm kind of keeping an eye on in a way.
That's
I
fair.
think he could be interesting. I mean, he's a guy that probably wouldn't command tons of money, but I also know that he can play. But at the same time, it's like if I put him out there as a starter, he could start. He could start on the outside with Cam Sutton, and it wouldn't be like, yo, there's our number one. But he could also offset, I think, the skill set in a lot of ways of Cam Sutton. But at the same time, he wouldn't break the bank, so I could still go draft someone on top of that. So that kind of piece, to me, intrigues me in this one for cornerback. I think that's kind of how it's lined up for me.
See, for me, and this is something I brought up, Dion, a lot throughout the last week, is that go and look for it via trade, because I don't really see it in free agency and where this team is positioned in the draft. I don't know if it's a cornerback that you believe in long term to be a one. I mean, we saw a guy as good as Jalen Ramsey go for just a third last year. So looking around the league, you know this better than I do, as far as there's a lot of teams that got to make a lot of cuts money-wise, all of that. Who's a cornerback that you could see potentially being available via trade? And is there anyone that you would see that is smart for the Lions to go after?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still of the mind that a guy like J.C. Horn would be super interesting. I mean, I don't have any reason to believe that he'd be moved, but I just think when you look at him missing more time, playing I think 6 games this past year, and that side of the whole situation, and then you also keep in mind like how good he looks when he plays. Like the dude has all the talent. So as a first-round pick, he's got all the traits that I love. And as soon as you watch him, like, man, the Panthers just look like a whole different defense. That was a legit defense last year, as bad as they were. So someone like that, where it's like he's probably not going to get the 5th year, probably won't get paid. Maybe he could be an addition where kind of like the Mosley thing, where it's like, oh, he's coming off of an injury. If you brought him in and he didn't play the full season, be like, okay, that's kind of expected. We don't pay him. But it also wouldn't take like the highest draft pick I think you have. I don't know how many guys I would say that stand out to me that kind of also fall into that realm. I think the Jalen Ramsey one was super interesting, kind of because the whole contract situation there, like you said, what they gave up for him seemed crazy. But at the same time, it's like, at that time, I was like, yo, why did the Lions not do that? It was like, what are we doing? Why didn't we go get him? But also knowing how much Brad Holmes brings up the character, and he's like, yo, some players can't play for Detroit. Like, there's a lot of things that, you know, even from the outside looking in, it's like, man, I don't even know how they evaluate that. So there's so many guys that are probably just taken off the table directly that I don't even know of, right? So Jalen kind of falls in that category because it seemed like a steal to the point that you brought up. But, yeah, I'm definitely open to that option. I think it makes a ton of sense.
Speaking of the Dolphins, there's a lot of talk that Xavier Howard might be out there because they're like $51 million over the cap or something. And I think if they cut him pre-June 1st, they get to save $14.5 million. So that's something. I mean, if you can get Xavier Howard, you go fucking get Xavier Howard. You know, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense, too, based on where Miami's at, because they drafted a corner this last year, I think in the 3rd round, I think it was, out of South Carolina, and the dude didn't really play at all. So just based on how that whole defensive coordinator situation went, Fangio left, and now it's like, okay, they just weren't playing the young guys, and it sounds like maybe some people were upset about that. That would make sense, that they would be like, okay, move the vet. Let's go with the young guys now. Let's do this. We have Ramsey. Let's go with the young guys.
That's a great point you made, too, about, I guess, cornerbacks that didn't get that 5th-year option picked up. From what draft class would that have been now, 5 years ago?
19.
19?
Is that 19?
Yeah, 19.
Would have been like guys drafted in 2019? Well, not 2020, because this would have been Hawk's 5th year.
Yeah.
We traded up 22. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see what DBs are taking round 1 and see if they're, you know, if they're not getting. That's a great point. Like, those would be the guys getting traded. That's why we traded Hawk, right? Like, we weren't picking up his 5th year. So I traded Okudah. We weren't picking up his 5th year.
And look what Okudah went for. I mean, it didn't take much to get him. It didn't take much at all to go get Jeff Okudah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a free agent this year too, right?
Oh, he might be.
Atlanta?
Yeah, he probably is.
Is that something you're re-exploring or no?
Man, leave him be.
Probably not. You know, I like Jeff Okudah, man. Shout out to Okudah, but nah, I probably wouldn't mess with that.
What was your thought? Because beginning of the season, before Brad Holmes or not beginning of the season, but once the season was officially over, before Brad Holmes spoke to the media, I kind of mentioned, like, you know, when Ben comes back, like, this, you have to go all in this next year because, like, I don't know when Ben's returning. I don't know what the team's going to look like when Ben returns. What?
I was just saying, 2 guys that are going to be on their 5th-year option next year as cornerbacks are J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
If you I'd give my left nut to get Patrick Surtain on this team. I'm not going to lie. Like, that would be amazing.
Do you see this year as, like, one of the, I don't want to say last opportunity. I don't want to make it sound like depressing, anything like that. But like the Lions' best chance to go out there and win that Super Bowl. And do you think that may change Brad Holmes' approach, like you said, in making a trade? Or do you expect him to kind of do things the way he's been doing it? Because it's been working.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the only way I see it changing is this way. I think we started to kind of see the way that the idea of how he was going to build his team, and it feels a little not fair to say this, but at the end of last year, when the practice squad additions were like veterans, they were no longer just the young guys. Like, we want to get a look, let them develop. It was like, all right, we're gonna start moving off those. Let's get vets in here that can play right now, so we can make this push. Because to what you just said is exactly why I thought this would be the year. Like, yo, if it's gonna happen, we're gonna shock everybody to do it, because Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are still here. I thought for sure Ben was gonna go. Yeah. I really thought Aaron Glenn would probably get a shot too, but yeah, the fact that they came back. So part of me, like, I'm not really. I have no reason to be worried about like where this thing's going to go for the future, because I think as long as you just continue to draft well, and you feel good at quarterback, like, you're going to be a consistent team, and then you just got to get into the playoffs and give yourselves a shot. But yeah, I think you make a great point. With Ben Johnson back and Aaron Glenn back, like this, I don't think Brad Holmes will change his approach necessarily, you know, outside of maybe just like some of those free agent signings won't just be I don't even want to say that. Like, I think it makes sense that they could go add a veteran that could play right now at some of those premium positions, right? If that's an edge rusher, if that's someone that's just like ring chasing, that could be the major difference that we see, because I don't think we usually see that a ton in the offseason. Like, maybe the closest thing was like CD Deuce, and it was like, okay, but it wasn't like he was ring chasing. He just didn't get a long-term deal. So maybe we get one of those mixed in. But outside of that, I don't think a lot of things change. I mean, I think he's going to continue to do what he does.
Yeah, that's a great point. Dion, man, I'm sorry for taking so much time from you. If you guys don't know who Dose Dion is, he's one of the GOATs when it comes to Detroit Lions content.
Facts.
What other videos you got cooking up, coming out this week, and where can people follow you and check out your content?
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate it. First off, thanks for having me again, man. The show's always great. Hopefully I don't look super dark. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, dang, I look like I'm kind of in a tunnel a little bit. Like, I got the lights on. I don't know what I'm doing. Look, man, I've had this camera for like 2 years, and I have no idea what I'm doing with it. I'll say this. I'm hoping to get some sort of like mock draft out there. I always like doing the mock off seasons, but my goal is to get a mock draft out this week, my first one. Kind of like that pre-NFL Combine mock draft. So expect that at some point this week. But yeah, Dose Dion 2.0, man. But no, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It was awesome to get back on here. This is one of those shows, I'll say this, that for some reason you still get a little nervous when you jump on. You're like, oh snap, I gotta be on it, man, because this is about to be fun. I get it as soon as I jump in. But no, I appreciate you guys having me, man. This was awesome.
Appreciate you always, Dion, man. It's always a pleasure. Man. You never gotta be nervous with us, man. You know we're always having a good time.
Well, hey, look, when I jump in and you're saying stuff like you said at the beginning, I'm like, all right, I don't know what to expect. That's where I gotta be on edge a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair. We're some Van Ginkels up here, man. You never know what you're gonna get with us. But
hey,
appreciate you, Dion.
Hit me up. We start doing those mocks like we did last year. I'm down.
Yes. I'll hit both y'all up. We got to make them happen.
Oh,
yes, sir. Appreciate you joining, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Dude,
Absolutely.
Dion's the GOAT. Dion's the GOAT. Always appreciate him having him on. Red Wings are tied 3-3. 9 minutes left. They've looked kind of bad in this third period. I'm not gonna lie. They need to do something. Let's get a fucking penalty here. Can we get a power play, please? I know we're in Seattle, but can we get one? Let me tell you guys about Jack Labrador. Football season is officially over, and spring training is right around the corner. However, Jack Labrador is 24/7, 365 days a year. Learn how to play now on your phone at jacklabrador.gg. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. And remember that once you go Jack, you never go back. Go to jacklabrador.gg now and join in on the fun.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy. It's Spinmo Rax.
Hello.
Young Chris, KG. If you guys haven't already, please make sure to like button. It's a little bit of a slower day. It is off season, so it means the world to us. Spinny and I have done the luxury of making a top 5 list when it comes to defensive tackles and free agents, because it is a position of need. Spinny, would you like to do the honors?
Labrador. Fuck.
It's all right. Well, Jay-Z and Kanye. These are our top 5 defensive tackles in free agency. And number 5 on my list, Spinny, is Fletcher Cox. A lot of the explanations for these gentlemen is going to be exactly the same. I want a big guy in the interior. I want a big guy who's going to take up double teams. But Fletcher Cox, one tweak when it comes to him is the fact that he's been there before at the highest level. I'm talking about playing Super Bowls, being in contention to go to the Super Bowl. I think he's also been like a lifeline of the defenses he's been a part of too. He's one of those like loudmouth guy. He chirps a lot, and I think there's a lot of experience that comes with the Fletcher Cox too. I know that he's up there, and a lot of people are, he's too old. I still think he produced last year.
How old is he? 35?
Up to a certain point. What'd you say?
Is he 35?
He's up there. I'm about to see. Actually, I'm curious. Is he 35? I don't know. I might understand.
He's probably pretty close.
I'll be down at least for a 1-year contract. I don't see how you could say no to it when, one, it's a position of need. And we kind of been like, it's been different people there every single year for us. It's been Aleem, there's been Benito Jones. At one point, it's Isaiah Buggs. Who was the guy that got picked up for the Titans that we had like briefly this year too? I can't think of his name, but we all liked him. He was here for like 3 games, and the Titans grabbed him to his squad.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know you're talking about though.
I can't think of his name. I'll find it in the stats. But Fletcher Cox is number 5 on my list. He is 33 years old. Spinny?
Number 5 on my list is DJ Reader. I thought you were going to keep going. Number 5 on my list is DJ Reader. Again, I talked about it with Dion. I think this could be the guy for the Lions. When you look at him, what he brings, he is 6'3", 335 pounds. He commands a double team on every single play. If you put him between Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil, they're going to be seeing a lot of one-on-ones because you cannot block this guy with a single player. It is impressive to see what he does. He has 277 tackles in 96 career starts. The only problem is he's dealt with a couple injuries in his past. He's coming off of a torn quadricep in week 15. So I think that will not only be something that will drive down his value a little bit to where he's not going to see the type of contract he would have been if he finished out the season healthy, but something we know Brad Holmes likes to do. We know Brad Holmes likes to get in there with the injured guys because you can get him at somewhat of a discount. And like I said, this guy DJ Reader, he is a mammoth of a man in the middle for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I would love to see him in between Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil because I think he'd be a perfect fit. He commands a double team, frees them up to do what they got to do, and he is as good as it gets when you go to stopping the run.
Kind of low, DJ Reader?
Yeah, well, I just did top 5 in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no 1 to 2 or?
Well, no, did you do top 5 for the Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well then 1 and 2 are.
Yeah.
Those are easy. Well, actually, they can exchange.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, which probably should be higher for a lot of people, and I understand why too, but it's Christian Wilkins. I just don't see him as a guy. He's very good, very high effort guy too. I think one of the takeaways from watching him on the top 100 last year was actually I think it was him explaining about himself. Is I think what got me on this list was me having that extra effort. There was a play he had against the Bills where it was a screenplay. He had gone chasing Josh Allen. I don't know if you guys remember the fight that him and Josh Allen got into, a little shoving match. But he still, as a defensive tackle, flew down the field and knocked the shit out of whatever running back or receiver received that screenplay where he just literally decleated him, feet in the air and everything. I think that's a telltale sign of a Dan Campbell guy. I know that Brad Holmes is the guy that's going out there and spending tons of money on a singular player in the past. But if there is a guy he would spend money on, I feel like Christian Wilkins would fit that in terms of what he means to an organization. I think he's also another character guy, upbeat guy in terms of keep the defense on their feet. And if they were going to go out there and spend the money on a guy like Christian Wilkins, I'd be down for it. The only issue I could see is that him and Aleem kind of fit the same mold, play the same type position. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like what the Detroit Lions truly need, the same way you're watching. We were supposed to get him last year he went to Tampa Bay, defensive tackle.
Kalijah
Cansey. He's next to Vita Vea, and he's able to eat because Vita Vea is taking on double teams. He's getting these one-on-one matchups. So I feel like that's probably more likely the need or the piece that we should get. But if a guy like Christian Wilkins is out there on the open market, it'd be tough to say no to that. Christian Wilkins is my number 4.
For sure. I like Christian Wilkins a lot. He's definitely on my list. But in the number 4 spot, I got Leonard Williams. I think Leonard Williams, he's obviously, it's the same kind of thing as DJ Reader. Big size in the middle, commands a double team, can do both rush the passer and stop the run very effectively from that interior defensive line position. He is a great veteran presence to have in that locker room. He's been around the league for a while. He knows what to do in different situations. And he could be a cheap ring-chasing contract. He's just coming off a $63 million contract with the New York Giants. He's not worried about getting this big contract like some of the other guys are when you look at Wilkins and Matabuki and other guys on this list. They're looking to cash in. This is going to be their second contract. They're looking for a big payday. Leonard Williams has been around the block. He's made a lot of money in the NFL. He could be willing to take a 1-2 team-friendly deal to go to a contender and chase a Super Bowl, and that's exactly what he would be doing with the Lions. And even in a limited role last year for the Seahawks, he got bounced around a little bit. He had 5.5 sacks and 10 tackles for loss. This guy still is a monster in the middle. I think he would be a great fit, again, like DJ Reader, in between Hutch and Aleem. He can do different things in the pass game and the run game, commands a double team, and could be looking for a cheaper contract.
Yeah, I got Leonard Williams too. And actually, he's at literally 2 for me. For every single reason that you mentioned. 6'5", 300 pounds, but in multiple defensive schemes. I think he also, like, beyond just obviously being that big man in the middle, I think he can play like every single position, which we've kind of seen him do throughout his career. I think we see him on the edge once, we see him in the interior. I think that I guess veteran experience is one we'd like to have in this defensive line because we have multiple guys like that, and Josh Pascal, John Kaminsky. I know John Kaminsky is a little up there in age, but like Josh Pascal, I guess, being the main one. One of the reasons I wanted Danico Autry is like, hey, I've done this my whole career. I've gotten double-digit sacks this year. Like, this is the stuff you need to work on. That would be huge for me, Leonard Williams. And I won't call myself a stan, but ever since he came out of the draft, I've always liked Leonard Williams. I thought he'd be a beast. And again, get a guy that commands those double teams.
He was at USC, right?
Let him lead me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a dog at USC.
He was a dog at USC. He was a dog with the Jets. He was the Giants and Seahawks this year. I don't think he did too well with the Seahawks, but I know with the Giants, obviously that defense helped carry them when Daniel Jones won a playoff game.
Him and Sexy Dexy, man, in the middle of that defense.
Man, sexy. That's what we need is a guy like that. Sexy Dexy.
That would be so perfect.
Just someone to eat the fucking double teams. He's number 2 for me, but number 3, I should have mentioned when you said it was DJ Reader.
Yeah.
I think his run splits, I don't forget I was listening to, but it's night and day for the Cincinnati Bengals, whether he's on the field and he's not. And I was going back to the comments that Dion made, and this is one of the reasons I put him on there so high, is that in the red zone, yes, we're a great run defense, but it's more designed by like scheme. We don't have like a Dominican Sue who's just like plugging up the holes and he's absolutely fucked. We just have linebackers that attack downhill and then close everything up. That's why you see Anzo and Campbell not even starting the entire year, be second on the team in tackles. It's a scheme.
Right. Yeah.
But in the red zone, you can't rely on those linebackers because they're like, they have to watch out for the tight ends or play action. Everything else is going on. You can't really just like depend on the linemen to handle it like that. I feel like DJ Reader in the run game specifically in the red zone would help. Imagine like in the San Francisco 49ers game if we had DJ Reed in the red zone and those runs that Christian McCaffrey had, where it's like effortlessly felt like he just punched it right in as soon as they got in the red zone. As much as we've been good against the run, again, once it got to the red zone, ranked 30th in the league, guys. That's pretty.
I love DJ Reader. He would be like, I rank them at who I think is the best, not who is the best fit for the Lions.
Yeah.
But if you got to give me one fit, I think DJ Reader would be my guy who I'd want the most. Just because of like you said, he commands the double team every play. You can put him in between Hutch and Aleem, and he'll make some people pay because you can't block him with a single person. So they're going to be getting a lot of one-on-ones if he's in there.
Yeah.
At number 3, I got Christian Wilkins. I love Christian Wilkins. I think he is the epitome of a Dan Campbell guy. What he does, how he flies around, he plays all out. He never takes a play off, and he's sorry, Red Wings had an open net, but kicked out to an empty wing. He never takes a play off, and he's super upbeat, loves football, always joking, always talking trash. On top of that, this guy has 355 tackles and 77 starts in his career. 355 tackles and 77 starts. That's almost 5 tackles a game for interior defensive line position. On top of having 45 tackles for loss, he finds the ball everywhere. He has at least one fumble recovery every single year he's played in the NFL, on top of having 19 passes defended in his. So he swats the ball down when he doesn't get there. He's got 20.5 sacks in his career. I love this kid. And yeah, I think that him and Aleem are pretty similar in what they do, but I don't think that's a bad thing. No. Having 2 guys like that in the middle could create havoc for an offensive line. It's 2 guys that play the run well, 2 guys that play the pass well. Having them next to each other would be great, but oh man, he hit the fucking crossbar, dude. Oh man, damn, Patty. But yeah, I love Christian Wilkins. Love him.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins in 2022, I think he has like 93 or 99 like tackles.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Guys, as an interior defensive lineman,
to get that many tackles,
to have
is
that
insane.
amount of tackles, like
Insane.
And like you said too, it's like him and Aline kind of are like the same build or whatever, but it's like obviously 99 tackles. That guy's doing damage in the run game.
Yeah.
Like I gotta go look at the TFLs. It had to been nasty, man. But Christian Wilkins, that'd be huge. And I think again, Brad Helm's not one to make those type of investments, but that's a guy worth it. This is a guy worth every single penny. I said Leonard Williams was my number 2, so I'm gonna jump to number 1. And here we're getting a little bit of pipe dreamy, right? Chris Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do I need to say? What do I need to tell you how good? I don't think I need to tell you guys how good Chris Jones is. The man has 3 Super Bowl rings for a reason.
Yes.
All pro.
Kansas City Chiefs were kind of just driven by that defense this year. Patrick Mahomes was a Patrick Mahomes of old. He wasn't the Super Bowl though. But nonetheless, Chris Jones has been a big piece of that. That's why partial or helped out the Detroit Lions getting that W they had in KC. With Chris Jones not being there, that'd be huge if we got Chris Jones. I might be talking Super Bowl.
I would put a lot. I'm talking Super Bowl either way.
If we get Chris Jones, if I'm being honest.
I'm talking Super Bowl either way, but if they got Chris Jones, I would put money on them to win the Super Bowl. Because, yeah, he is my number 1 as well. You look at him, 5 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros, 3 Super Bowl rings, like 75.5 sacks and 102 starts from the interior defensive line. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Like, this guy is a monster. This guy's a monster. He is the definition of unguardable with one man. Like, if you put one man on Chris Jones, you will not get a playoff.
No,
he is impossible to guard. And, yeah, it's a little bit of a pipe dream to say having him on the Lions, but that should be everybody's number 1. Like, if you can get Chris Jones, you get Chris Jones. He might be fat and sassy now after winning 3 Super Bowls, but like the dude is a difference maker.
Dude, I don't know if it was like the fourth quarter of the overtime, but the 49ers, I think it was overtime actually. The 49ers were in the red zone, and I don't think it was a blitz. It was just Chris Jones like getting after Brock Purdy, and he had, I think it was Jennings, open for a touchdown, but he overthrew it because he's getting pressured.
It was like Aaron Donald against Stafford in the Aaron Donald against Burrow, in the Super Bowl where he had Jamar Chase running down the sideline wide open, but Aaron Donald was in his face and he couldn't get the ball off. That interior defensive line pass rush is one of the most important things in football. If you got a guy like Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, one of those guys who can beat anybody on any given play and be in the face of the quarterback, a 340-pound dude in the face of the quarterback is always a good thing for the defense.
Yeah. And I see a couple comments. No Matabuke.
Matabuke,
that's what I was
he was
surprised.
second. He was second for me.
He's getting tagged, bro.
Matabuke was number 2 on my list, but yeah, I do think he's going to get the tag.
Like I did mine based on guys I wanted for the Detroit Lions, and I want him for the Detroit Lions. I forget it's a pipe dream at this point. There's no way the Ravens let that guy go.
Yeah, Matabuke is number 2 on my list because again, 6'3", 305 pounds, 13.5 sacks last year. Like obviously, you'd love to have that guy on the team, but yeah, the Ravens are not going to let him go.
Yeah, who's number 1?
Chris Jones was number 1. Yeah.
KG, any quick reactions to the list?
Nah, y'all list is perfect. Y'all's mirror mine pretty much. So y'all had the same guys on both of y'all lists, right?
Yeah,
like, I think so. Yeah, actually, it's
all of the same guys.
Numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you got a list?
No, I didn't get a chance to make one.
Well, no, you had
Fletcher
Cox.
Cox.
Didn't have Matabuke and you had Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, Matabuke. Yeah. Well, that's because again, I think Matabuke is getting tagged.
You think he a pipe dream and Chris Jones ain't?
Yeah, I think Chris Jones, the Chiefs might let him walk because they had the last hurrah.
Yeah.
That's
true.
true.
If they wanted to keep him, they could have worked something out.
Yeah.
You know, when they're trying to.
I still think he would cost too much.
They're more
just
likely to tag
sure.
Snead than Jones.
Yeah, and Jones a little bit older too. I mean, Jones, he's gonna command as much as he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
He's worth every penny of it, you know. Where Snead, I feel like they can negotiate someone's like, here's your value versus like what we're willing to pay you type thing.
Yeah.
Power play?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seattle's going to the power play with 1:44 left in a 3-3 game. This is rough.
Tell us about Big Boy.
Need a big kill here because you cannot afford to not get any points.
The boys are buzzing, yeah?
Need 2 points out of this game, man. Need 2. Was it Oli Mata? Fucking course. Let me tell you about Big Boy. Wintertime Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowls. Dude, just a terrible penalty to take. You bum. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Also the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Same prices and conveniences that the big box retailers, except they're homegrown. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. I'm Eazy. We got Spinny, the usual suspects. However, we do have KG on the 1s and 2s filling in for our guy Nick. He is in Rutgers causing up trouble. I want to bring something up. It's actually spur of the moment. Shout out to Eduardo O'Neill put in the chat. But I know you guys talked about on BDE. And you're talking about how KC is mostly built through the draft.
Yeah.
He's like, there's one anomaly with KC, that Patrick Mahomes. He talked about like other teams that have been there. It's been through like acquisition, whether free agency, a couple trades, and I thought back, okay, and I'm thinking just this is like live reaction to Tampa. Obviously acquired Tom. They got Gronk. I don't know if they would trade for anybody after that.
No, I don't think so.
Dominic Sue was a free agent though. I know they acquired him. So other acquisitions outside of like the draft. Who am I missing in between? Sandwich in between there. The Rams.
Yeah.
Obviously, they acquired a bunch of pieces like via trade and free agency. They didn't want to spend that cash.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as we could point to KC, and you'd be right to say that they built through the draft.
They built through the draft. It helps when you build through the draft.
Anomaly
if you draft the best
Mahomes.
quarterback of all time and the best tight end of all time, like that helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, building through the draft is definitely an important thing to do. But I think you build through the draft to a point.
Right.
You build through the draft until you have your foundation set, which the Lions do. They have all pros that they got through the draft. There's no shame in going out and getting an X factor out of a guy that is going to make some things happen. And yeah, so I think that it's fine. All right, going to OT. Wings going to OT with the Kraken. Big point here. Let's try to get another one in overtime. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going out and trying to get an X factor in free agency after you already have built through the draft. Like they built through the draft. You look at all their best players, they're all draft picks, other than Jared Goff. So yeah, I'm not mad about that at all.
Eduardo O'Neill goes on, brings up more examples. 2017 Eagles traded for guys. 2015 Broncos traded for guys.
Yeah.
I think everything in between there, you look at the Patriots, which we know.
Maybe the
acquired guys for
Seahawks
agency
are the
too.
only other team that I can think of that was like they didn't
Seahawks
really
did.
have a big name free agent that they signed.
Yep, and they were one of the examples where they had the benefit of Russ in that rookie deal because it's not just like a regular rookie deal. He's a third-round pick.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you were able to surround him with whatever else he had to do too. And they just drafted phenomenally too. Like, pretty sure Bruce Irvin was a first-round pick when they got Bobby Wagner in the same class.
Yeah.
It's like,
crazy.
Those are dogs. Richard Sherman.
Yeah, Richard Sherman, Cam
Brandon
Chancellor,
Browner,
Earl Thomas, Brandon Brown. Like, they
did the damn thing.
They had another their slot. Who was their slot corner? He was a dog too.
Maxwell?
Yeah, was it Maxwell or
It was someone else than him because I know he was like the rookie.
Yeah, he was
joining
later.
Them. Huh?
He was later.
Yeah, but even like you look at the receiving,
didn't even matter at
Percy
that point.
Harvin, you could say was the biggest guy they brought in, but like
Mr. Migraine.
yeah, they had Marshawn Lynch was a guy
Marshawn, the guy
they brought in. Yeah,
They brought in a few guys on the offensive line too, if I'm not mistaken.
but all of their best players were drafted, homegrown guys. Doug Baldwin, obviously Russ, and that pretty much that whole defense.
Hearing that, KG, does that change You want Brad Holmes to get a little bit more splashy, a little bit fuck them picks?
Well, of course, as a fan, I want that. And, there's examples of that everywhere. Yes, you want to draft to a point, but at some point, yes, you do need to probably add free agent, or trade at the deadline for a bigger name talent. But I absolutely think like Brad Holmes needs to make a splash move on the defensive side of the ball in order to really push this thing forward. Not saying you got to spend all the money in the world, but you have to get a higher tier name at some point. You can continue to build through the draft, but results might take longer in that department. So I'm not mad at the approach. It's been working, but you absolutely, I feel like you need to make some kind of splash move.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning to. And honestly, I've been that way too. Like, I know Speaks, he's talking Super Bowl either way. As a fan, I'm probably going to talk Super Bowl either way. But, like, realistically, I don't know if I'm going to.
And if you're looking from the premise that the Lions are one player away, one splash player is not going to kill your cap.
It's really not.
Yeah.
And
it just depends on where you spend it.
Exactly. Like, especially at a position of need, if you're able to get a star there. Like, and again, I don't think it necessarily has to be through free agency, because a lot of these guys in free agency, like, one, their contracts would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Versus, like, where you could trade for a guy. Yes, if you get up, probably draft assets to do so.
Yeah. But I mean, at some point,
yes,
the draft picks, you drafted all you need to draft. You can use that as capital to gain some in the trade.
Exactly. And then you get them locked. You already get them like a contract already with them. So it's not like these free agent guys, we have to pay them these absurd amount of like money to like, get them to come to your team. You already have a guy that's in contract. Get him, and you already have, he's proven commodity. Like I would rather go that route as it fits right now for the Detroit Lions, because I just don't know how long Ben's going to be here, and I don't know where we're going to be without Ben.
Right.
Just being honest with you.
Right.
We're already seeing the changes being made to the offensive line that we're kind of like semi freaking about when it comes to like acquiring a guard and another tackle. Like Taylor Decker, I don't know how long he's going to be here.
Right.
So it's like I want to shoot my shot now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Ben Sherratt buried the OT winner from Larkin and Raymond. Beautiful. Huge 2 points picked up in Seattle.
Nice.
Needed that. Way to fucking go. Big Ben Sherratt, man. 2 great games back to back. Ben Sherratt played lights out against Calgary, and he gets the OT winner here. Love to see that, man. Buried that. Larkin gets it in the zone from Raymond. Comes around, dishes it off Ben. Just bar down, snipe. Beautiful. Love that, man.
Woo! Good win.
Huge 2 points right there.
And now we can focus on the show.
Spitty been over here going through it, man.
Just a great play by the Cat. Sniped by Ben Sherratt. Love that. Love that, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Ben Sherratt has played. I said it against Calgary. Ben Sherratt, even though I don't even know if he got on the scoreboard, and Reimer, obviously Reimer with the shutout, but Ben Sherratt played a fantastic game. If he plays like that as your 5th D-man, that's a very good sign for the Red Wings. Great game against Calgary defensively and doing different things, and obviously with the OT winner, huge 2 points here.
You was just talking shit about him too.
No, I was talking shit about Olimata. Olimata's trash.
No, it's about last week.
Oh yeah.
Have
he was playing terrible.
they officially salvaged this West Coast trip?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you split it. You got 4. Yeah, definitely salvaged it.
Because where's Seattle in like the rankings?
Seattle's a good team. They're a playoff team.
But I know the playoff team, but like
I'm not sure. I think they're
close to us. Yeah.
I think they're
like how good?
They're good. They're
top 3 good.
Let me see. I don't know the Western Conference standings.
Because I know obviously when we faced like the Edmonton, it was ugly.
Well, I mean we beat the best team in the league at home right before we played Edmonton. So like the Red Wings can.
Well, they're going to the playoffs regardless. I don't think anybody should like.
I mean, it's close, man. It's close. You got a lot of teams fighting for that
going
spot.
To playoffs, bro.
Let's see.
This ain't Nick in the sound booth jinxing them. They're going
right.
The Kraken are fighting for the playoff spot. They got 56 points.
Either way,
they got a graphic up there right now. For
just get to the dance.
Oh
yeah, they did just have it up there. Let's go to break. Let's reset. Now this game's over. Focus on a little bit the same topic during the segment. But first,
beautiful snipe. Ben Sherratt, sorry I ever talked shit about you. 2 great games back to back. Huge 4 points. A lot of them thanks to Ben Sherratt, not gonna lie. Played great against Calgary and then with the OT winner there. Let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. Man, I'm juiced. That was a great win. Customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Let's go Red Wings, baby.
Have you ever wondered what all the the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Dispo Dispensary is the best place with the best created cannabis in the business. They got multiple products with multiple brands, the best brands that is, and the best bud tenders. I know because I work there too. That's Dispo Dispensary. Visit disposhops.com, get it delivered to your door, or make sure you stop by the one in Romeo. Open till midnight, Monday through Saturday. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? And welcome back to the Word of the Waits, LiveWordSports.com. I'm Eazy. We got Spinmo Rax, Young Chris, KG, Eduardo O'Neill wants to over taking callers. Eduardo, call in, brother. We'll take your call because you brought up a great point. You brought up a phenomenal point. Here I was thinking like, yeah, you're right. KC did build to the draft, but I totally forgot. KC got fucking Patrick Mahomes.
I do want to talk about this Red Wings real quick, though.
They're also kind of forced to build to the draft.
Yeah.
Because you're paying Patrick Mahomes $50 million a year.
They had to.
Or cap-wise. What do you want to say about the Red Wings?
I just, this was...
shit, 6 to 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, I'm telling you, overs are hitting a lot this year, but this was a great, huge way to end this road trip. Obviously, you walked into an absolute buzzsaw against Edmonton. Connor McDavid went out there and had a great game. Then you're going on the road to the best team in the NHL in Vancouver. That's going to be a tough game to win. You lose there. Then you get a layup. Calgary's been playing like shit the past couple games. They just came off a bad loss. You go in there, you beat them up. Reimer with a huge shutout was standing on his head. Kaner got in there, got a couple points. Raymond got a couple points. But the guy I said, when I made the tweet at the end of the Calgary game, my heroes for this game were Ben Sherratt and James Reimer. Obviously, Reimer with the shutout, 38 shots, 38 saves. That's huge. But Ben Sherratt played a great game against Calgary. It was probably the best game I've seen him play so far this year because we know what he can do when he's playing. He's been around the league for a while. Big physical defenseman. He can do some things, but he hasn't looked great this year for the Red Wings. That game was huge. That game was huge for him to come out there. Like I said, if this is your fifth D-man and he's playing like that, that is a very good sign for the Red Wings. Obviously, Petrie, Olimata, hate them. They need to go. Get out of here. But if Ben Sherratt's playing like this, he can be a good piece in your defensive rotation. And on top of that, you come in, Seattle need the 2 points. Need the 2 points because Matthews and Toronto, they're on a heater. Obviously, it was great that New York got the win over the Islanders, but they got a point out of that because it went to overtime. So you need the 2 points against Seattle, and you got it. Huge win to end the road trip because it's not getting any easier. You're going back home, and the first game you got is Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and the Colorado Avalanche coming in. The Colorado Avalanche coming into LCA, so that's not going to be a walk in the park. Those are two of the top 7 players in the NHL that you're going to have to look against. But this was huge, great 2 points, and now I think this means. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to make a trade, whether it's Chychrun. I think they need to get some blue line depth, get a guy that can be solidify your top 4 D-men in the trade deadline, bring somebody in, make a push, get that playoffs. I thought maybe they'd be able to jump Toronto, but you look at what Toronto. Fucking Austin Matthews has 6 hat tricks this year. He had 2 of his last 3 games he scored hat tricks. Like, the dude is a monster, but love the huge 2 points here, especially with the Islanders getting 1 in that outdoor game against the Rangers.
Let's do that hockey. We got Eduardo O'Neill on the phone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we do.
Push him through.
What up, Eduardo?
What up, Eduardo?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, man, I'm just thinking, like, seriously, going through all of the last Super Bowl winners, like even the Pats in 2014, they brought in Darrelle Revis. In 2015, that Broncos defense, like, was a lot of the players that they signed through free agency that year, plus, the Manning. I can make a case the 2013 Seahawks. They had traded for Marshawn Lynch, like, 2 years before, So, like, being able to draft and develop, that's awesome. But, like, at the end of the day, Goff isn't Mahomes. You know what I mean? He isn't gonna elevate that entire team and put the team on his back like Mahomes did in that fourth quarter. So eventually we have to make a move for someone to help us get us over the top. I'm literally, like, if the Eagles would have won last year, they traded for A.J. Brown. They had signed Bradbury late into the off season. This year, Chase Young got traded for in San Francisco. Like, even looking at the runner-ups, a lot of them made a move. We would have been, like, one of the only teams to have made the Super Bowl without making, like, a major move. So I really think that if we just continue to draft and develop, like, we're not really gonna we're gonna hit a ceiling just because of Goff, And as much as I like the guy, he turns into goofball sometimes, So, yeah, and then I just have one quick question for you guys. I've been trying to ask this in the morning show, but since the Hutch defender isn't in here, but do you guys ever think that Hutch can get on anywhere near Chris Jones' level? Because I look at that Chiefs defense, and they have nobody other than Jones. Like, yes, they have Karlaftis, but he's an average guy. And then when they needed a stop, multiple times in that Super Bowl AFC Championship game, he got the pressure that was needed, And I've really only seen one or twice of Hutch where we need that game clinching sack, which was like the Chicago game, or like the Dallas game where he showed up in a big way. But do we think that he can get up to his level? Because if we're just gonna ride with Hutch, if Brad isn't gonna do anything, can Hutch put the defense on the back and force a field goal, in the red zone of the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship? Because he didn't do it this past season. In the NFC title game, in that second half when we needed him, man was MIA. So that's my question for you guys. Thank you for taking my call. I hope you guys have a good night.
Eduardo, appreciate you, Eduardo.
Yeah, thanks.
And obviously, they do play different positions, but where you're coming at is, can Hutch be that game breaker, that game wrecker, that guy that defenses have to watch out for? And I do think he can be that. I do. My goal, obviously, for Hutch was 13.5 sacks this year. He fell just short of that, but I still think he is going to be up there. I don't know if he'll ever be the 20-22 sack guy, but I think he can go out there and he can have great seasons. He could have a season like we saw out of Trey Hendrickson this year. He can be a guy that can go out there. He can get you 17, 18 sacks on a season if you put a guy that demands a double team in the middle. I think that's what it is. And obviously, I talk about the interior pass rush is a lot more important than the outside pass rush when you look at different teams, because if you got that stud in the middle, he ruins everything, and it makes everything easier for every other player on that defense. But I do think Hutch can get to that level of game wrecker that we see out of a Chris Jones or a Micah Parsons or one of those guys, just based off of his sheer size, what he can do, his intelligence with the ball. We saw him make great interceptions. He had a couple huge swats in that first half of that San Francisco game. So he's just getting better as the season goes on and as the year goes on. I do think Hutch can get into that level.
I think he is that. Not to what Chris Jones is, and as Smitty said too, the two different positions. But Hutch, leading up into the NFC Conference Championship game, he had been there, present in every single one of those playoff games. And even want to go back to like making a big splash play, go back to the Chicago game, one of the greatest comebacks in Detroit Lions in my lifetime, Detroit Lions history. He was one that sealed the deal. Yeah. Justin Fields had an opportunity to take the ball down there. Hutch got to him, rip sacked him, and that's the end of the game. Out the back of the end zone for 2 more points. So I think he is that. What he doesn't have is a Robin, if you will. And I know, like, it is easy to kind of dismiss George Karlaftis because like he's not known as like that sexy name. A lot of people didn't really know him. That was probably the most I ever focused on an NFL draft before in my lifetime. So I was highly aware of him. I was one of the guys that actually, if we didn't go Hutch and traded back, I wanted to get. I remember I was a big Kyle Hamilton guy, and that was the edge defender I was targeting. But George Karlaftis, I think, 10.5 sacks this year. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can credit Chris Jones for being a part of that too, but we don't have that guy next to Hutch cleaning up like that. Aleem McNeil stepped up big this year. He's coming from the interior. George Karlaftis is another edge guy. And Hutch can rush inside too sometimes too, but we don't have a Robin like George Karlaftis. I think George Karlaftis is kind of slept on what he is part of that defense. Again, 10.5 sacks this year. That's more than just that's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's double-digit sacks there. And then 6th year prior, I'm looking at it now, in his rookie season, George Karlaftis is a big part of that defense, and we just don't have that other piece of it. And that's why we talk so much about acquiring these guys this year, whether it's through free agency or draft. And obviously, I think you want more somebody through free agency or maybe even trade because it's a proven commodity to put next to a guy like Hutchinson. But I have a feeling Brad's going draft when it comes like that. I guess the defensive line in general. But I think most importantly, get us an outside cornerback.
Yeah.
I thought about another piece of that Patriots team you brought up too, Stephon Gilmore, I should say.
Yeah.
Another guy they acquired too. Yeah, we don't have a Patrick Mahomes.
And he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
When they acquired him. Like for the Patriots, he was lights out.
Yeah, they went from Revis to Gilmore.
Yeah.
We got another caller?
Yeah, I got one more call if you want to take it.
Yeah, let's go.
Terrell from FL. What's
Terrell
up, my
from
guy?
FL.
Terrell, what's going on,
the
brother?
The guy who owes a jersey.
What's up, bro? You are so confused about this bet. You're killing me with this shit.
Hey, it's 2 versus 1, man.
No, you guys both go to Dispo too much. I'm telling you. You and I look. The week that you made a bet, you were talking to like 3 different people. You made a bunch of bets that week. Even Kalamazoo backed me up in the chat earlier. I called in one day that you and Spenny were ranting about Jared getting paid $50 million a year. And I told you that Brad would never, I called in and I told you Brad would never ever pay him that much. And you were like, you want to bet? And I said, yeah. So the bet is, if Jared gets $50 million on average per year, you win the bet. Anything less than $50 million and I win the bet.
It don't work that way. What
that
you
was
call
the bet.
For?
That was the bet.
Well, we'll pull the tape. Pull the tape.
That wasn't me. I would never bet on Jared Goff MVP voting, bro, because that's a sucker bet. Nobody's going to give Jared Goff the MVP. He plays for the line.
That's why I remember it vividly, because we were like, what the? Did he just? I was like, all right, Jared Goff MVP.
That wasn't me, bro.
Super Bowl MVP?
No, that was not me. I would never, ever.
What's going on, man? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to call in about the bet stuff. You guys got the free agent shit covered. I don't need to throw nothing in there. You guys.
Pull up the phone records, get the clip.
Man, I'm not going back 8 months, bro. What do you? I got a light. Wait, come on.
All right, we'll find it. I'll get that jersey one way or another. Appreciate you calling in, man. Great call by Eduardo. Yeah, you don't just lose a bet. No, that's not what happened. That's what happens when people lose bets, though.
Yeah. So what was the bet? That's why I was confused. He said about Jared Goff's contract.
Yeah, from what I remember, you remember it this way too.
I remember it that way too.
Did he say Super
the
Bowl?
Hendon Hooker jersey, right?
Yeah, it was like Hendon Hooker versus Jared Goff versus Super Bowl MVP. He said something about Jared Goff winning the Super Bowl MVP. And I was like, I thought he was just joking. And he's being dead ass. And I was like, all right, well, yeah. Why the fuck would I not take that bet?
I remember, I don't know who, but I remember somebody making either it was Jared Goff MVP, Jared Goff Super Bowl bet with you for a Hendon Hooker jersey for your son.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Was it? That's it?
That's what I remember too, yeah.
So what's this about Goff's contract? Because he mentioned something about a bet about his contract.
That's what I'm not familiar. That's what I'm saying. I think he's trying to reset the.
Yeah, he might be.
I should have wrote down.
Supremacy paid up like a man. That was a real move.
Supremacy paid up like a man.
That's what's up.
Broder paid up like a man.
Spartan dog.
Shout out.
Broder's not a Spartan dog.
No. When Broder came by and said go blue, I remember I thought he said something in Italian.
Yeah, you were like Gagoo.
I was like, why Shout out to Broder. Shout out to Supremacy. When we get back, there's another possible Detroit Lions free agent acquisition, one that we flirted with at the beginning of the year, and we'll retouch on, only because it's getting trash.
Well, let me tell you guys about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a
yeah.
new era in sports wearables, new design, amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com by clicking the shop tab today. You can get hoodies, hats, tees, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com by clicking on the shop tab.
What up, though? Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. If you guys haven't already, it means the world to us. You hit that like button. Smash the like button. During last season and a little bit in the off season, I think it was Dan. I gotta get the YouTube channel right, but he sparked up a rumor about a certain receiver coming to the Detroit Lions. The guy wanted to come to the Detroit Lions, and then it was like, okay, well, it's like just a YouTube page, and then Talib. What's his last?
Akeem Talib?
Akeem Talib. I was mixed up the name.
Talib
Akeem Talib hit up and Adams and said, I want this certain receiver to go to the Detroit Lions versus where he's at right now. If you guys haven't figured out what we're talking about, it is Mike Evans. Chris, if you want to put it up. It does feel different looking at it. Mike Evans, his name's picking up traction again in terms of the Detroit Lions acquiring him. I saw a couple of posts on Twitter. The graphics are being made now too. I saw one today. It's like, imagine these 3-level threats: Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and then on the right, Mike Evans.
J-Mo in the slot.
Which
my God.
We witnessed Mike Evans in the playoff game. He's getting a little bit scary there too.
To be fair, it was our secondary.
Yeah, that is true.
It's still Mike Evans.
But great receivers in our secondary.
Mike
regardless.
Evans is at 1,000 yards every single year he's been in the NFL.
That would be crazy.
He's never had a year under 1,000 yards. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
KG.
He's a monster.
You got most excited. I'm going to go to you first in this one.
I mean, what can you say? This would be a great move if it were to happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't know what he'll command if they, the Buccaneers can't reach an agreement with him. But I mean, this is absolutely nasty. You got him on the outside with Amon-Ra and J-Mo in the slot. Just think about that, man. That's nightmares
and
for
Sam
defenses.
Laporta, and
right,
Jahmyr
along
Gibbs.
with your run game. Yeah, oh my man, I can't even state that enough. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
It would be nasty. It would be nasty.
Crazy,
Obviously, I would love for it to happen, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It is a pipe dream for Lions fans to be expecting this. This is a guy who's going to want Devontae Adams money. He knows he's already got his Super Bowl. He's already got the Hall of Fame career. He knows this is his last kind of prime contract. He's going to want Devontae Adams money. He's going to want $20 to $25 million a year, and he's going to get that from somebody. But it's not going to be the Lions. It's not going to be Brad Holmes. Unless, I could be wrong, and maybe he wants to go chase another Super Bowl, but I don't see that.
I think you're absolutely right. He's looking for a payday. I mean, that's been the divide between he and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the reason why I came up today, I saw it in a quote tweet. I don't remember what the account was, but today was the last day for them to have that extension. Otherwise, he's going to count as a dead cap hit for him coming in the next year. So that means they're going to eat the dead cap, and then he's going to move on and sign with somewhere else. And yeah, it's been a money thing, and there's no denying what Mike Evans is, like an NFL product at the wide receiver position. 1,000 yards in every single one of his career.
That's
Every single year.
Yeah, he's a bully, man. Mike Evans single-handedly won Johnny Manziel a Heisman.
Yeah.
Like, you can go back and you can watch those Texas A&M clips, and it was Johnny Manziel creating time, running around, doing things, closing his eyes and throwing it up, and Mike Evans would jump up over 3 people and catch it for a touchdown. He is a bully. Everywhere he's been, he bullies people. He would be exactly the piece the Detroit Lions offenses needs. A guy you could just throw the ball up to over 3 people and he's going to make the catch. A guy you could throw the ball to in the end zone and he can make the catch, but it's not going to happen. He's going to want, like I said, he's going to want Devontae Adams money, and Brad Holmes not going to get it.
There's the one piece we don't have. And beyond 1,000 yards every single year. He's had double-digit touchdowns in 5 of those 10 years he's been in the league.
He's a dog.
He's a fucking animal.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
But we're talking about,
he's probably the most slept-on
offense.
receiver of our generation.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure he is. He for sure is the most slept-on. Yeah. But by the way, multiple different quarterbacks too.
Yes.
Yeah. Only
James
one real
Winston.
one.
A lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But the point I want to get to is that like we're still a top 3 offense.
Yeah.
As sexy as this would be, as much as like it'd be a spectacle, or a top 3 offense right now, producing as that.
Right.
This isn't a need. This isn't something like again, a guy's gonna want to get paid. A guy deserves to get paid. One, we can't afford it. It's not position need at all. We are still a highly functioning offense against every other defense we've seen this year outside of maybe the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about what the San Francisco 49ers are as defense too. We put up numbers against them too before we even hit the second half. Now they woke up in the second half and gave back to us a little bit there, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
And this is why you drafted J-Mo as well. So
Yeah, you do not need Mike Evans. He's wide receiver is one of the least of our worries. Like, it's like running back and wide receiver are the 2 positions where if they didn't do anything, I'm fine with it. So, no, you're not going to get Mike Evans. It would be amazing. I would be extremely excited. We would have probably the best offense in the history of the NFL if they did that, but it's not going to happen.
And they do need a wide receiver 3, but we still don't know whether they're going to re-sign DPJ or Josh Reynolds. So
this is a move you make in Madden, but not in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is something that you can do in a video game, and it's cool, and you have like an elite offense. But in reality, we know that this Lions team needs defense. We said that last year, and they went out and drafted offense. But this year, it's set in stone. This offense is young, and it's going to get better. Like J-Mo, Gibbs, Laporta, you can all expect steps forward for them.
And pieces that have to go are not pieces of need.
What if he signs with the fucking Bears?
Oh, no, don't say that.
They have a lot of money.
Him and DJ Moore.
They need a receiver.
Oh, my God. Him and DJ Moore would be crazy.
That'd be gross.
That would be a nightmare, dude.
With Caleb Williams or Justin Fields,
we don't
it
have
don't
a guy
matter.
on our team that can stack up against Mike Evans twice a year.
Yeah. Like I said, too, we're talking about positions of need. Like, one thing that helps us be a top 3 offense is the offensive line, and now we're uncertain of what we're doing at guard. I'd rather go spend the money you would take to get Mike Evans, you get 2 guards for.
Yes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
or a cornerback and a guard.
Yeah.
Like Mike Evans is going to want $20 to $25 million a year.
Yeah. But certain cornerbacks, some cornerbacks going for that.
Yeah,
20.
he's going to get that, though. Yeah. He's going to get that from somebody.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the Lions, but it's nice to talk about. It's cool to fantasize about, but Mike Evans is not going to be a Detroit Lion. It would be amazing, but it's not going to happen.
Bargain shopper Brad.
If we struggle in the red zone as an offense, hell yeah. But this is not the case.
Yeah.
We're eating, and we're doing really good. And Jared Goff needs that
rather him
offensive
go to
line.
Carolina. I could see Carolina, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Carolina would just spend the bread.
That would be a great move by Carolina. Who would be better for a rookie quarterback to have than fucking Mike Evans?
He don't want to go there, though.
Fans.
It would suck for Mike Evans.
He don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's going to eat regardless. I don't think he cares.
Houston, bro.
He just wants to get paid. So it would really suck for him. It would be good for you.
I can see him going to L.A.
L.A.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua.
Stafford and Mike Evans.
Yeah. I can see it.
A Puka underneath.
I can see it.
That'd
Cooper Kupp starting to come down a little bit. That's a perfect addition right there.
That'd be dirty.
I don't know if they got the cachet for that, though.
I don't think they got the bread. That's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. I can see him go to the Texans. They got the money.
Yeah, that's a good spot, too.
They could pay him $20 million a year, and it's no income tax in Texas.
Tank Dell and my man's over there, Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, Tank Dell.
As much as
Noah Brown and Mike Evans, that's the best receiving core in the NFL.
I think Noah Brown's a free agent, too.
Oh.
But as much as it sounds crazy, I think the Panthers are there's more problems because of the amount of money they got.
Panthers make sense.
But who wants to go to that dumpster
Sounds
fire?
like he just wants to get paid.
Yeah.
If he's willing to extend with the buck, I guess they
like I said, I can see him.
Year.
He's got the Hall of Fame career already. He's got the Super Bowl already. This is the last contract where he's worth top flight money. He's going to get his. I don't blame him. Do yours. I fucking love Mike Evans, dude.
Remember, middle of the season, too, they were bitching about not having a wide receiver. I was like, bro, you just traded the number one
Yeah.
future number 1 overall pick and your wide receiver DJ Moore. What are you talking about? You need a wide receiver.
And he's from Houston, said Eduardo O'Neal. Damn.
Mike Evans from Houston?
Yeah, well, he went to Texas A&M. So.
Oh, yeah, it does make sense.
That'd be nice.
I would
That'd be
hate
dangerous.
that and love it at the same time because the
They're
Texans
AFC.
would like probably get to the Super Bowl if they traded for Mike Evans and had another fucking stellar draft.
I still
could
don't
see
like
them
their
come
run
up.
game, but offensively that definitely helps.
That would be
Let me see. I'm about to see who
insane.
has most cap space.
CJ
or how
Stroud would
much
go
they're
for
working with.
5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns if they got Mike Evans.
And they would have 3 more years of him on a rookie contract and Will Anderson.
And they've already won a playoff game, so
Yeah,
man,
Texas
watch
got
out.
54 million cap.
Yeah.
They could definitely
Dude,
make
that's
it
what's going to happen. I'm booking it right now. Mike Evans is going to be a Houston
That's a good
Texan.
spot.
Where do they get him?
That's a good spot.
They still have
man.
enough bread to get
Somebody else. Like
Chris Jones.
Yeah. Dude.
Come on, now that's ridiculous.
That would be so nuts.
Oh, that'd be wild.
That's ridiculous.
No,
Will Anderson and Chris Jones.
They got to grab I still think they need to grab an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Bears got 60.
Protect
Their
your
offensive line
investment.
is actually straight.
Yeah, but I think they need another
Yeah,
tackle.
protect your investment.
They got Larry Tunsil, who's a dog, but on the other side, I think they need a right tackle. I think.
Yeah.
That would be so nasty, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We get back. We either do mailbag or bitch a little bit about Kevin Ali.
We'll do mailbag.
What you
Fuck
guys
Kevin
say?
Ali. I don't give a shit about him. Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Swiss Insurance, the best in the business, especially if you go through my guy Mark. Contact him directly, Mark at Swiss INS, to solve all your home and auto insurance needs.
Send him where you think Mike Evans is going to go. Damn.
Yeah, no good.
Where
Big
is
brick. No good.
You overshot it.
Take right to the left of the chair.
Oh, I thought it was. I asked if it was in front of the chair. You said yes.
No, you brick, bro.
Dude,
No, I
set
thought
me
you
up for-
asked if the chair was in front.
Well, it's kind of hard. I mean, that is the front, I guess, technically.
The front of the chair is where you sit in.
Yeah, so it is in the front. But it's just like, it's in the front to the
all
left.
right, whatever. Mailbag. Eduardo
blame
O'Neal.
my failure or your
Would
failure,
Spenny
Tony.
give up having sex for life for Surtain on the team? No.
No.
For life? Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, no.
What's
I've been
the
doing
most
pretty
amount
good
of
the
years
past
that you
couple
would
years.
give up?
I've been having a damn good run recently.
Like 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years is a long time.
That is a long time. Can I
Man.
get Beeger still? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure then.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For a
get
Super
2
Bowl?
years.
Yeah.
That's
What
cheating
if they
if
don't
you
get the Super Bowl?
That's cheating if you can get oral though.
Hey.
Hey,
Can
don't
I,
hate the
can
player,
I,
hate the game.
can I soak?
Can I
All right. If you can start betting on esports, is that pushing it too far in gambling?
No.
No, I don't see what's the difference between. If you could bet on WWE, which I've heard you can, then you should bet
Not
on
really.
esports.
If you can bet on one sport, you should bet on any sport.
If you could bet on WWE, that's
I
crazy.
bet on the
It's
Daytona
literally-
500
It's literally
today.
scripted.
Yeah.
I've never watched a NASCAR race in my life, and I bet on the 500.
When does
today.
that start?
I don't know. I think it's on right now.
Where's the other
I don't know. I
mailbag?
got money on Chase Elliott. I got 50 on Chase Elliott, top 10 finish.
Ooh, Eduardo O'Neal says, drop TV show / movies to watch. I'd be bored at work. Yellow Jackets.
The Boys.
I just start. Yeah, if you haven't watched The Boys, definitely watch The Boys. That's probably But if you have, which I feel like
I don't know.
what's the other one? Gen V.
Gen V. That shit was dope.
If you watch The Boys, make sure you watch Gen V because it's like getting tied into now. But this show called Yellow Jackets on Showtime, it's fucking crazy. It's like remember you ever hear the story about the Uruguay plane crash.
Yeah.
And they
eat each other
cannibalize.
and shit,
to survive. So it's basically like a TV spin on that.
I'm watching Supernatural.
crazy.
I watch Supernatural at the gym when I'm on the treadmill. That's my shit. I love Supernatural. It's
I
a
saw
great show.
what's her name, Mina Kimes tweeted about that show you always talk about, True Detective or something
True
like that.
Detective, yeah.
What is that about?
It's about detectives. Every season is a different crazy case. Season 1 of True Detective is the best season of a television show ever.
Come on now.
Ever.
Come on, bro.
Better than any season of The Sopranos. Better than any season of The Wire. Better than any season of Breaking Bad. See, I'm telling you, True Detective Season 1 is the best television I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's a big claim.
It is amazing. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson.
Matthew McConaughey's in it?
Yeah. The first season is Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. And they're fucking, it's goated television.
Woody Harrelson's gas.
The new season was good. The ending sucked. The last episode was yesterday. It was trash. It was Jodie Foster, though. It was good.
Ooh, John F. and Lord, how many Detroit Lions do you think make in the top 100 this year?
6.
Who?
Hutch.
Penne.
Goff. Amon-Ra.
What about Ragnar?
And
Ragnar didn't get last year,
Gibbs?
did he?
Ooh, Gibbs might.
Gibbs
Laporta
might.
has to.
Gibbs.
Laporta will.
Damn.
So maybe
So
7.
it might be 7, yeah, 7 or 8.
You think Goff make it?
Goff
the
will
year
make
prior?
it this year.
Yeah.
He didn't make it last year.
Whew, that's a record number.
No, I think he did.
He did. Him and Hutch.
Amon-Ra. Yeah, so 6
Or
or
him and
7.
Amon-Ra were in it.
Yeah, back to
Yeah,
back.
it'll be Goff, Penne, Hutch, Laporta, Gibbs, Frank, and who else did we say?
Frank got robbed last year, so I don't know if he makes it.
we said
Yeah, you said Penne. Did you say Goff?
I did say Goff. Oh, Amon-Ra.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And
I can see Gibbs and Laporta making it.
yeah, Gibbs and Laporta are going to make it for sure.
That's a gotta be.
Laporta will for sure. 1,000%.
That's a record number for us.
Yeah, it'll be 7 or 8 probably. Branch probably not yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Penne didn't. Yeah, Penne didn't make it.
I don't think Branch will make it.
That shit was wild.
Anzalone wouldn't make it, right? Even though he had one of the best years. Yeah.
CK says we can have 100 top 100, but if you don't win a Super Bowl, who cares?
I like the top 100 because it's voted on by the players.
I do too. Stuff. It feels like they've just been mailing it in the past couple of years. Because like you used to be like you get like everybody doing interviews on them. Now I feel like it's just like the same like 6 or 7 guys doing the interviews, or like the takeaways from it. So I feel like it's like mailed in like based on like name.
Pretty much.
Steve Wilds. I judge shows on how much hot female nudity is in it.
MPW said, oh, dude, yeah. Alexander Daddario, perfect tits in True Detective Season 1. Great scene. She's got perfect tits.
That's why it's the best.
MPWMU says, put a chick in it, make her lame and gay.
Wait, what?
It's from South Park. They're doing a whole bit about how Disney's ruining everything. Put a chick in it, make her lame and gay. That's a great episode.
That's Hollywood.
That is,
It's one of those in every movie.
I'm telling you, dude, Matthew McConaughey, I'm pretty sure he won an Emmy or an award for it, but it's one of the best acting performances in a television show I've ever seen.
What channel? Or
It's on HBO.
That's HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
HBO Max is goated.
Put a chicken and make it lame and gay.
That's such a good episode, dude.
I'm looking for more mailbags.
Mail sack. Euphoria for Sweeney. Euphoria is a good show. I like that show. Not just for Sydney Sweeney, even though like seeing Sydney Sweeney's tits all the time is definitely a plus. But it's a good show. It's a very good show. My guy Ashtray, dog. Fezco, dog. He died. Yeah, R.I.P. The actor Fezco died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sucks. He was a great character.
Right? I think.
And Zendaya's great. She plays his crackhead pretty much.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Is there a main character? Is she the main character?
Yeah.
She's a crackhead?
She's like a heroin addict. She's a junkie, just in general.
I don't know.
She's a great character. It's a great show.
I couldn't get past all the
Drake executive
Yeah, very
produces it.
rough start. Rough start.
Yeah.
Like it's a tough start, but other than that, it's really good.
Yeah.
Euphoria season 2 ending was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It was pretty wild.
Wow. Spain just lost all credibility, says Mike Hilton.
Damn.
Why? Because Euphoria?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
My girl watches it a lot. I've seen some episodes, but
great show.
I didn't get like super into it.
Yeah, I didn't get into it either.
Yeah.
And like high schoolers having sex, like, I don't know, maybe
Right.
Like,
You had sex in high school?
yeah, but like I'm an adult.
You're
like,
right, I'm
watching
30.
it. It's like over
But none of
sexualized.
them are actually high school age. They're all like
But
27.
they're still projected to be high school. It's just, I don't know. Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's not bad.
What about you? Any show recommendations?
It
it is the off season, guys. You gotta give people something.
Yeah.
Top 5 female actress.
KG was answering. Rude bitch.
Oh, sorry.
No, you all good. Lately, I've been watching Griselda. I want to check out Vince Staples' show. I heard that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that was from? It's from an actual show?
Yeah, that bag skit was so funny.
That was funny.
I heard it's good.
Was so funny.
But I'm a big fan of Vince Staples, though. He's pretty good.
What's his show on?
Netflix.
It's on Netflix, yeah.
Good for him.
Top 5 female actress. Do you mean like can include the too? Can I include the too?
Oh.
Do you mean like hot female actress or like
some I like
good female actress?
Some of the really bad ones.
Oh well, Ana de Armas.
The bad ones where you don't even watch the acting scenes, just cut straight to the work.
I don't think
the
they
action scenes.
Ana de Armas is number 1. She's one of the most attractive women I've ever seen in my entire life.
Does he mean like actual acting?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was.
Do you have a favorite? I don't know if I have a favorite actress.
Favorite
actress?
Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
For acting abilities, don't like not.
Meryl
like,
Streep's the GOAT.
She bothers the fuck out of me. I don't know why.
Meryl Streep's good.
Yeah, she cold.
Anne Hathaway's really good.
She is.
Anne Hathaway, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. This is bad. I'm not big on
Jennifer Lawrence is a very good actress.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, what about Amy Schumer, guys?
Oh, dude.
Right.
Amy Schumer sucks.
Oh, you know
I'm
what?
so happy that's all over.
I actually mean this as from an actual actress. Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. She's actually
nice.
a really good actress.
Yeah, she is.
I see that one clip of her all the time.
What?
Oh,
Tubi movie?
Steve Wiles said based on boobs. Edward O'Neill said hot. He's talking about hot.
Oh, hot. Oh.
Ana de Armas is number 1.
Yeah, she's number 1.
She's number 1.
Best female. I'm not even.
I don't even care about 435.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, but she a throwback.
She'll
definitely a goat.
Jessica Alba was gonna be up there until fucking
Fantastic
Four. She was
That's not her
so
fault, man.
bad.
That's
so
not her
bad.
fault.
Dude, Anne Hathaway's up there for me.
She wasn't that bad in Batman,
She's really
man. I
good.
always tell people like
Angela Bassett.
Oh,
dude, she's
an actress.
Yeah, fantastic actress.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman's a very good actress.
Yeah.
Emma Watson. Somebody said. In the chat.
Julia Roberts.
Amy Adams. Amy Adams is really good.
Yeah.
Amy Adams. Who's she in?
I was just watching. Ricky Bobby. I was just watching her last night.
Oh,
she's in a lot of stuff. She's the fighter too.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
She
got some $1,000 in my Hillary Swank, sitting next to Hillary, smelling like presidential cock.
And they want
all right, but that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping in the Woodward Heavyweights.
I can't think of her name.
Live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash the like button for Eazy.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. For Chris, I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll see you guys later.
Who's the girl in
Peace.
Get Out? Or not Get Out, but she's in the next one.
Oh, I don't know. She's great.
She's like half black, half Mexican.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's fucking sexy.
Zoe